What's up? What's up? What's up? Back at it. Look, my question is: are black people overreacting to these new ways, new changes, redistricting the map, possibility of lost? Well, it's going to be a loss of power. Gains are going to go backwards. That's just going to happen. Um, things are changing. And are they overreacting? Are they acting like they're actually going back into slavery? It hasn't went to that, but um, I don't know about that one. I wouldn't go that far, but I say we're headed back to Jim Crow, and I don't know if there's anything you can do about it. And I think Supreme Court has spoken. To try to change the Supreme Court would take lifetimes. It would take lifetimes. Clarence has done what he's done. He's the oldest one on there. Who knows? Within the maybe next week, within the next 3-4 years, he'll retire. Maybe he's certainly rendered his decisions. He's influential, but it wasn't just him. If you go and look, it's like 6-3, something like that. It wasn't just him with these decisions. So on one side of the fence, I can sort of understand what he's saying. I can pretty much understand what he's saying, and to some degree, I do think that there's some truth to that. He's Clarence Thomas doesn't believe in race. He said that several times. There was issues with him being confirmed back in the 90s or late 80s. He doesn't believe in race, and he doesn't want race to have a factor in anything. He's always said that. Now there's some compromises there, but once again it becomes judgmental. And Clarence has said that he did it without political influence. He did it without religious beliefs. He simply interpreted the way he believes the Constitution stands when it comes to these issues. He's saying you can't redistrict a state and use race or make it about, okay, I'm going to put all the blacks in this district, and then, they'll have representation. That's what he says, right? And he says he's just going by the Constitution. And we do live in America. And a lot of people, they just forget about the South. They don't understand the South. Somebody who grew up in the South, I understand the South. As a kid, I didn't know I was a kid. I knew I was a kid. I didn't know anything about Civil War. I didn't know anything about the South. I didn't know about the history of the South. So I was raised around a lot of Southerners. I was raised around a lot of Southern beliefs. An example is this song right here. This song had no meaning other than it was just a song. I'll give you an example. Now, we sang that song as kids, never thinking that it had some type of meaning. It was just a song like any song. You hear a song on the radio, it's a song. This was something that was played, as children, and I think about it now as an adult. Obviously, you've listened to the lyrics and you understand it was an anthem. It was so they played it at Jefferson Davis's inauguration. It's a big deal. I think some of the schools, SEC schools, I think maybe West Virginia, a couple of those schools still play this. They play this during the touchdown. They play this for a celebration. It's a staple. It's a Southern state. It's a part of the Confederacy. It's a part of the Confederacy. So when you say going back into Confederacy, we all admit it won't go. So for most people, it won't go as far as slavery. But I do believe we're headed toward Jim Crow. I believe that. I believe that. And the case becomes, are black people overreacting? Because how far are we from Jim Crow to begin with? I mean, if you truly look around in your city, how far are we from Jim Crow? How far are we? What advances have we really made? And how racially integrated are we? We see that immediately once given permission, the court controls the tone and controls the it sets the tone in the country. They immediately when they made that ruling, they also did something that they never do. They normally give you about a 30 days to prepare. They took that out. They said, no, we don't eat. The ruling has been said, and they can enact on it anytime they want to. And they did immediately, which is not the norm. They don't normally do that. There's an adjustment period. They're they give states a chance to prepare, but this one they said no, you can go ahead and redistrict. And of course, they redistrict the lines down racial lines. They put every black district in a district that had a majority, say 60%, 70% whites. And that was deliberate. That was a racial gerrymander to racially take blacks out of the voting process. Now, we can argue about right, wrong. What I'm saying, what does that mean? What does that mean now? Is everything going to be okay? So now that my district rep is white. So, but now they're going to change that person, right? What are they going to do? So that's what I'm saying. I'm trying to figure out, okay, what are they going to do now? Are they going to come in the ghettos? They're going to clean out the ghettos? I don't think anybody would complain about that. Who's going to complain about that? There might be somebody out there, but who's going to complain about that? They say, hey, the liberal who was running that district, we got a conservative over that district now. And we're going to come in there and all of these open air drug sales, the thugging, the criminal activity, we're finna put a stop to that. We're finna put a stop to that. Is that what they're going to do? Or are they just going to leave it the same? I'm serious. No, I'm serious. Okay, they're in charge now. There's nothing I can do about it. I would have to die, come back to life, come back to life, and maybe within 400 or 500 years, maybe we could change. This isn't going nowhere. No time, not in our lifetimes. I'm telling you right now, they're not going to be able to change any of this. So that's your new district now. You'll be governed by a conservative, more than likely. You're going to have some random Democrats in some districts, but they're not going to have any power. If anything, it's going to be worse than before because they just don't have any power. You don't have politics is about power. It's about power. You got to have power in politics. You need money too. Or you need money. The people with the money give you money, contribute to you so that they can have access to some of the power. And it's never been about race. It's not about you a certain race so you get this and that. It's never been about that. That's why blacks don't have anything, because it's never been about that. That's not politics. And the Constitution, it wasn't really written like that. So with the voting, we know there's voter suppression. We know there's groups that don't want black people to vote because they want to control, they want to govern them. Okay, now they got that. Now, what's going to happen? Because I want to see that. I'm a different type of dude. I don't like thugs. I want to see the thugs removed from the neighborhood. Why would I want to be around a fucking thug? No, I'm serious. Why? Okay, so I grant you, I agree. The liberal let those people make babies, go in and out of prison, menace to society, some kind of way create this belief that they somehow represent the black perspective or the black situation. Okay, I'm not backing down. Okay, liberals have gave a preference and a platform to the thugs. When you say the no jumper, all of that all of that stuff, that's thug behavior. All of that. Okay, so and then it's ran by a white. That's a whole different conversation, ain't it? Ain't that something? A bunch of niggas being ran by. Yeah. Just think about it. See, I don't have a problem with them getting rid of the thugs. All of that criminal stuff, get rid of it. Okay, now what we're going to do? Are you going to leave us alone, or can we live? Can we have a business without you getting upset, coming in, burning it down? Are we going to be left alone? Yeah, that's what I'm saying. We're going to have to answer these questions, man. We know in the past that hasn't been the truth. But okay, what are you going to do with the people in the ghetto? You're going to clean them out, clean out the ghetto. Who they going to work for? Who they going to work for? They ain't worked in 15, 16 years. They got 5 kids. Who they going to go to work for? Anybody who operates a business knows those people who work for you have to be competent. They have to be ready to work. That's your business. You don't just stick somebody in a job. Then you won't. How you gonna get your business? How you gonna operate your business? Even if it's something like labor job. Even if it's say, hey, go take all of those pieces of wood, take those 300 pieces of wood, take that lumber, and move it to that spot. You see that spot right there? Yeah, you see it's all by this green fence. I want you to take it, walk it over, board by board, and put it by the red fence. Okay. Seems very simple. That don't mean they're going to be able to do it. That don't mean they're strong enough. So that's what I'm saying. You have to factor all that in. So the crime, get rid of the crime. Okay. Then what are we going to do after that? So it's going to be some changes, man. And I'm talking about the hole in the wall strip club. That's got about 50. They're going to let that stay in a business? It's a lot of crime. And before this ruling, they were shutting them down. Before this ruling, they didn't play with those. You got a 2-year life expectancy on a black business. I'm talking about anything involved with the clubbing, anything involved with that type of the strip clubs, the nightclubs, the social scenes. You got about 2 years, maybe 2, maybe 3. But a lot of times those clubs invite the street culture into their clubs. And we know that's a bad idea, but who's going to patronize the club? When they try to open up a nightclub and they say minus the street clubs, they don't get the patrons. You got to have some type of clout in the street to get people to come to your spot. Okay. So I would say I'm going with they're going to close that down. Okay. Is that good or bad? That's bad. So, okay, let's go with that. Now, it's bad, but do I fall up in there every now and then? But I know what it is. So we're going to get rid of those. Okay. Now, what else? What are we going to get rid of next? What are we going to get rid of next? Any place that's a public nuisance. That's a few barbershops. You're going to shut them down. Okay. All right. Now what we going to do? We got new leadership, new district lines. Now what we going to do? Jobs. Where the jobs at? Where they going to put the jobs? They're going to put, we know Elon put a water plant in Memphis, and they're already predicting the cancer rates are going to go through the roof, through the absolute roof. For whatever that, well, I don't know what that thing is. He put some plant out there. It's toxic. And a lot of people, kids, A lot of people are going to die way too soon, and they're going to suffer too because they're going to suffer before they pass away. Okay, that's been done. Okay, so you going to put more plants there? Are you going to say, hey, it's a bunch of blacks in this side of town? You could put all your toxic, all of your deadly power, all of that, because they need jobs, give them jobs. Is that what we're going to do? Okay. No, say, is that what we're going to do? So what are we going to do, man? I'm just saying, so are we overreacting? I'm saying I grew up in the South and I'm looking around. What's the difference? The legislator who was governing my district, he never did a damn thing for me. My community was crime field, thugs. I was a little kid. I'd see thugs on the way to school. I'd see thugs out selling dope early in the morning. I didn't know what they were, but they were open car drug sales. Every now and then you see a body scratched out. You'd see chalk and blood. Somebody got robbed. Some thug in your community who may have had a case of cokes, or he saw the little kids playing. Maybe he hopped in and threw a football to you, and he could throw a football way further than you're a young kid. You're a young kid. He could put that thing over the rooftops. He would throw the ball so high, you actually thought you was on the NFL field. Yeah. And then, I'm going to tell you, as a kid, growing up like that, I used to wonder why these guys want to be thugs, because they had talent. Man, it was the one guy, that dude should have been in NFL. That dude could spot you too, man. It wasn't so much he could throw it high. He threw it. It was like a basketball. You could be running. You're about to run out of grass. Man, that thing would come down. It would come down soft right in your hands. Bam. Giving you enough time to slow down and turn around. And I remember, I don't know what he's doing now, but as a kid, we loved that guy. He was a drug dealer. I don't know. We didn't have that conversation, but for whatever reason, sometimes he would stop and he would join us and say, hey, let me be the quarterback for both teams. And he said, okay. And he'd just sit there. And he did it in all of this designer stuff too. You didn't rush the court. He just threw the ball. And man, the guy was really, really good. So we going to get rid of that? He wasn't no Robin Hood. I'm just saying, I'd say once in my lifetime, he gave me a Coca-Cola with a bunch of other kids. But as far as him, like being some type of guy, that wasn't going to happen. And that's cool. That's cool. He would later get locked up, and I don't know what happened to him, but we're going to get rid of that. We're going to put the money in the police. What are we going to do? And are black people overreacting? Are there going to be jobs? Are there going to be jobs? I mean, it's going to be better? You're going to get the corruption out. Okay, let's get the corruption. What I'm saying, I'm in a district. It's been redistricted. I'll let you know when I disagree. We're going to get the criminals and the thugs out of the community. I'm with that. We're going to get the corruption out of the government. I'm with that. What else? What else? So what am I overreacting? Can I still file complaints? I still have access to police. What about housing discrimination? Okay, well, that you can do that. So I can't go to the white side of town. What if I got money? I got to still be with the Negroes. Yeah, see right there. So, yeah. And just like Chud the Builder is walking around harassing people, just a matter of time before some business hangs up a whites only sign. And who's going to challenge it? Who's going to challenge it? I mean, it's up there. Who's going to challenge it? And what black person, I mean, let's be for real, what black person is going to really be trying to, they say whites only. Okay, who's really trying to go in there? Right? Right? I don't know. Blacks only. How about that? That's what Chud, you put up a blacks only sign, here comes Chud the builder. You see the difference between, look at the difference between that. If I'm being for real, if somebody put up a white, now if you got to use the bathroom, man, come on. If I'm out there, if I got, hey, my money funny, if I got to take a bus somewhere and I got my kid with me or I got my wife with me, what am I going to do? Use it outside? Now, I'm going to be for real. Me, I would. Because I'm a different, I just go around the corner, whatever. I ain't got no, matter of fact, I'd rather do that. I'm not saying people should, and you can be arrested for that. But I'm saying you press yourself up against a wall and you turn opposite any traffic. Even if you're not really, but you could be arrested. That's not what you're doing. And then maybe I don't know, maybe they won't see that. But yeah. Now on that, I would have to agree. If you put up a colored restroom, blacks here, whites here, and the black one is broken and the white one is operating, and I'm with my family, and I agree, I could go outside, but I don't want to, then you're right. And it's going to make you think that I'm trying to bother white people or try to force white people to accept. It's going to come out like that. Because they're going to say black man tried to get into white bathrooms, but they're going to leave out the part that the black one was broke. You guys don't clean up the black one. I went inside the black one. It was terrible in there. You guys, we've been there. We've all did the road, what do they call them? Park, what is those things? Road something, rest areas. We've all did them. And sometimes you rest and you can smell it. Now you start walking toward it. You say, man. And then you say, no, you take off to the side, go around somewhere where you can conceal yourself, and you just do it there. Or you get back in your car and you find you a bathroom. I mean, then don't even say that could be much better. That could be worse. So yeah, that would be an issue. So I don't know how we're going to figure that out. But crime out, get the thugs and the criminals out the community. What about sending them back too? Because I've always said, what about all of these thugs when they do 2-3 years? You send them, and you can't tell me I can't move to the white neighborhood if I got money. I don't want to live around a bunch of thugs. You're going to say, well, you black, you need to stay with the black people. I'll say, okay, well, I can't do nothing about it. But don't turn around and put all the thugs back. How your kids gonna grow up? You want your kids affiliated with thugs and then they become thugs themselves? Yeah, so that's what I'm saying. So are blacks really overacting? Are they really overacting? I mean, overreacting. I don't think they, I don't know. I don't know. Yeah, I saw the thing on Chud. Yeah, man. Man, the pegging. Allegedly. I don't know, man. The makeup. Man. What a terrible web we weave out here, man. What a web we weave in the land of Dixie. Now, hold up. Let me keep going.
Well, wish I was in the land of cotton wool, and there I not forgot to look away, Dixieland.
The land of cotton, Dixieland. Grew up on those types of songs. Okay, now They're not, to a certain degree, they're in power. Okay. What are they going to do? Now, let me say this. I don't want to be punished like I'm a criminal just because I'm black. I don't want to be treated like I'm a criminal. Do you? Do you? No, what I'm saying is all of this stuff, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? How are we going to govern? You're going to get the thugs out of the ghettos. Then what? Are you going to put jobs in there? You say you want to get the illegals out of there too. You want to get the immigrants out of the ghettos. Okay. Can black people work in those stores? Can black people work in the store? Give me a store. Give me a gas station. I'm going to put me some chicken in there. I'm going to drop some chicken. What else I'm going to put? I'm going to put a lot of grease in there. That's what we like, right? I'll put some chicken in there, some fries. And I got to put some, look here, I'm going to put 40s, cold 40s. Since we charging $7 a gallon, woo, you put it in if you put a fill up on, if you come in and fill up your truck, I'll throw in a 40. I'll throw in a 40 and 4 pieces of chicken. Come on, man. It's going to be a celebration. It's a new day. It's a new day, right? Right? Are we going to change anything, or things just going to stay the same? Now, this guy said he wished he was in the land of cotton. Okay, you're in the land of cotton now. Dixieland. Okay, I heard about it as a kid. I thought it was, the way I was told as a kid, it was the greatest, mostest, bestest place. Now we going back to the land of Dixieland. So I'm saying, maybe, am I overreacting? Are black people overreacting? We're going to be in the land of Dixie. Look away, look away, look away, Dixieland. Oh, I wish I wasn't. We're in Dixie right now. Let me come over here. It's mostly banjo. Banjo.
Well, I wish I was in the land of cotton, old town there, I'm not forgotten. Look away, Dixieland. In Dixie's land where I was born, in early on one frosty morning. Look away, Dixieland. Then I wish I was in Dixie, hooray, hooray. In Dixie's land I'll take my stand and ride Dixie away, away, away.
I like that part though, when they go, oh wait, don't, oh wait, don't. I like that part. They need to somehow, some rapper need to redo that. I like that. Oh wait, don't, oh wait, don't. But we're back right now. We're going back now. We see the picture of they said those were minstrels. Well, we see the picture of the happy black guy with his maiden. He's tapping up his hat. But the actual picture said that's a minstrel. So if it's a minstrel, that's a white guy dressed up in blackface. I don't know. I find the picture. I don't know the origin. They just said that was a minstrel. Maybe that is a minstrel. Maybe they looked at blacks. They were minstrels. But this is the way they portray the South. You know, it's the land of cotton, and the guy's so happy. He's kicking his feet. He's with his dolly. She's got on a waist trainer. Look away, look away. Are black people overreacting? No, that's the question. Are black people overreacting? Are black people overreacting with all of this, all the changes that's about to happen? Because I wonder about that. I wonder if everything will be just fine. Will everything just be better? As right now, people it's hard to deal with, but will it just be fine? Like, say, will we be a better country now? Say we get the thugs, the criminals, we get these people off welfare. What's that bunker song? Everybody pulled their weight. Those were the days. Are we going to go back to that time? We didn't need no welfare state. So is that where we're at? And I don't know, man, because I'm trying to see. I never get them. I wish a conservative or prefer a MAGA supporter would come up to me and tell me. I wish a MAGA supporter would tell me what's going to be better now. No, I'm serious. I'm serious, man. Are we overreacting? Because I'm hearing doom and gloom everywhere. Are we overreacting? I mean, what's going to change, man? We're still here. We still got the right to vote. What's going to happen? Let me see. I'm going to drop this link. If you are conservative, you MAGA, and you proud that you MAGA. If you MAGA and you proud that you MAGA, please take some time to join and help me out. What's going to change? What's going to change? I'm serious. What's going to change? Okay, we're not going to have certainly black Democrats. So you're going to see the black with the black the Congressional Black Caucus. That's going to be gone if that's not gone now. Now, there are black people who say they never served black people anyhow. They said they served others. They said they served immigrants. They said that their whole thing was about the gay community. Their whole thing was about the immigrant community. Their whole thing was really maintaining the black community. But as far as progressing, going forward, open up opportunities, now they would, the black caucus, they would have to answer for that because in my community, I didn't see black people. I saw thugs. I saw a lot of thugs opening up strip clubs and nightclubs. I didn't see, and barbershops. I didn't see black businesses opening up. I didn't see that. No, I'm saying when they were in power, I didn't see a whole lot of black people opening up businesses. I didn't see it. I didn't see gas stations. A black man. Who was that? That's Mr. Thomas. He was a high school principal for 25 years. He retired. He's opens up his own gas station. He's got a partnership. I didn't see that. If anything, I saw fewer black people through the years. I saw fewer, but it used to be, you guys wouldn't know, it used to be a time when every little mom and pop store you went to, that was a black person in there. In your neighborhood, if you wanted to go get some candy or something, you walked in there, that was black people behind that counter. It was black ownership back then. That was the norm. If you went to a gas station, 90% of the time, it was a white guy, white American guy. Simple as that. Simple as that. So, under the Congressional Black Caucus, what we saw is immigration. Now, back in the day, we had one Chinese dude, a Vietnamese dude, and he was married to a Vietnamese woman, and he was with the shits. Mr. Lee was with the shits. He was smashing. And then you may have, as a kid, I'm saying you may have grown up to next to your blazing sister, and that was Mr. Lee's baby. But your mama told you that your grandmama, she got her grandmama. Your mama told you that's why your sister looked different than you because it's on your grandmama's side or something. Now that's Mr. Lee's baby. I grew up in the middle of that. Come on, don't even come with me that. Whoever this dude was, Mr. Lee, he was smashing. He was smashing black women. He was, man. He had a bunch of them, man. Going back and thinking about it now, man, it was a whole bunch of mixed kids, mostly women. And you grow up, man. You grow up, you're like, damn, she look good, man. Like she looked good. Look at her, and I don't know if she even knew. I don't know if she even knew. That was Mr. Lee. So we saw that with the Congressional Black Caucus. We saw the rise of Mr. Lees. No, I'm serious, man. I'm saying, what's going to change? They're saying they're going to tell Mr. Lee to get your ass back over to Vietnam. Get your ass out of here. And see, that should have been said a long time ago. And if you was one of Mr. Lee's kids, guess what? His wife, when school would let out, they didn't let kids just run up in their store anyhow. But you walking home from school, you got a quarter or something, you want to buy some candy. Mr. Lee's wife would always be mean to the black kids that looked like, that were clearly his kids, right? She would make them stand outside. She would do the you buy to them. If you was a biracial kid, because your mom got down with Mr. Lee for whatever reason, maybe he paid her, and you just a kid, man, living a kid life, Mr. Lee's wife would look down. Yeah, you leave now. You buy, leave. You ain't did shit. You like, what the? Yeah, I saw that, man. I saw that. I saw that. And I knew this. Here we go. Now we got to go back to the judge, and there goes a racist. We got rid of him. Look, and it's sad that they come over here. But now we got, like I said, I wish I could get a MAGA man up here to tell me what's going to be better. I'm trying to see what's going to be better. Or is it going to be the same? If it's going to be the same, what difference does it make, right? So there should be no overreaction. Huh? 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 No, I'm being for real, man. Growing up, I saw black ownership become less. That's what I saw. I go right out. There are none. Like ain't no gas station out here. There is no gas station with black people behind the counter. That don't exist. There'll be a gas station with a black immigrant, say a African of something, Somali, like the guy said in the chat, but black, like you black, no. The only time I do see that, I see that when you get into the mom and pops, like that's sort of in the hood, and it's a smart idea. You hire a thug, and then that thug, you watch him, but you pay that thug to watch all the other thugs, but you watch that thug. And that slows down your theft, because to show love to the thug who's working there, and I've seen them, and don't say it don't work, because it works. To show love to the thug that works there, because they proud he finally got a real job, they won't steal. They also say you cool because you hired their friend. Some thug, maybe he's lost an arm or something, maybe he can no longer go back out into the field. And out of respect to him, you let him know, hey man, your buddies can't come in here stealing. I'm about to fire you. I looked at the videotape. I saw one of your buddies back there stealing sardine cans. All right, I'm gonna warn you, I'm watching, if he comes in again, he can run out of here. I'm firing you. I'm gonna blame you for that. Yeah. And he goes out on the street and say, hey man, yeah, don't come in there doing that, man. I'm gonna lose my little job I got, man. They've always did that. So I'm saying, I know that's why he's there. He's not there out of some type of outreach to the community and, he's clearly the best person to live there. He's not like that. He's not like that. Okay, let's deal with that. Uncle Tom's. What difference do we even use that term anymore? It's irrelevant. Clarence Thomas has always said he don't believe in race. He didn't wake up and become Clarence Thomas. So the whole thing, the shaming tactic of Uncle Tom, isn't that what, and we got to let that be gone with the wind? We got to take the black lifestyle that we've known, and it's now gone with the wind. That's now old. That's the old ways now. So when calling people, isn't that a waste of time? Oh, you are Uncle Tom. Well, what difference does it make? He's done it. He has the power, and he did what he did. I don't know, man. I don't know if I'm overreacting. I don't know. I'm underreacting. I don't know. We back in the land of Dixie. I can't say I have a problem with Dixieland. I never had a problem with it. Yeah, I saw that. What's his name? I think Avery Brooks. I don't know. I'll be messing these names up. The brother that played DS9, who played the captain, he did a rendition of Uncle Tom's Cabin, which was before Gone with the Wind. I don't know if they did a yeah, they did do it. Uncle Tom's Cabin was released, and it was a big seller. Let me tell you something. You want to understand the South? If you want to understand the South, right? Take some time out with your family. Go and rent or go and get Birth of a Nation, the original black and white. Go get Birth of a Nation. Then go get Uncle Tom's Cabin. The older, the better. As closest to the book as you can get. Then get Gone with the Wind. After that, you've pretty much encompassed the South. That's the South. Now, on the Uncle Tom's Cabin, you're probably going to have to read that because they had to take so much out. And it does portray Uncle Tom as a hero. But see, I don't know how the book went. I never read the book. And they cut out over 1,000 pages out of Gone with the Wind. They took a lot of that out. They romanticized that. So once you understand that, I would say take a look at take a quick trip up, go to The Godfather. The first one. Maybe the second one, not the third one. Then while you're at that, you looked at The Godfather, Scarface. I would stop there. And I would say that's your difference. Now you look at those three. I know you could go and get the black films, New Jack City. Look, no, I'm talking about these three. If you were to look at those three films, those three books, you got to read the Uncle Tom's Cabin because they cut a lot out. And you got to understand what their point was about writing it. So you need to understand that. Now, you understand that? Look at The Godfathers 1 and 2 and look at Scarface. Stop. And I'm serious. I'm serious. Don't look at nothing else. And that's America. So you digest that. That's the country we live in. Because that's sort of what it became. All that thuggery, it bled into, I know, black films. Now, you don't have to look at it. Just look at those films. And now, the South. We got new, what are they going to do? Are we going back into the South? What are we going to do? Now, it's clear. They want to get rid of all the thug and all of that stuff. Okay. You want black representatives out. Okay. Now, what are we going to do? Because you're representative, you still represent the people. What do you want the people to do? What do you want the people to do? What are we going to do? What are we going to do? These guys, look at this. Look, Mike. See, this is the problem, Mike. Mike, this is the problem. He said, color of skin never defines a man in his actions. Well, why are they redistricting? Why are they doing what they're doing? If skin color don't matter, why are they doing what they're doing? Well, why get rid of the black districts? No, I'm serious. If skin color is irrelevant, hey, color don't matter. What difference does it make? Whether you have a district with black people in it or not? What is all of these lectures, is that so that's what we're going to get. So all of these new things now is just a lecture for Negroes about race. You're going to lecture a bunch of starving Negroes who don't have jobs, right? That's bruh. That's what we okay. So I don't think black people overreacting. I don't think that's an overreaction. If all you're going to do is give them lectures on race don't matter, but to you it matters. That's why you have a such thing as a colored bathroom. Clearly, race matters, and that's the South. That is the history of the South. It mattered in the South. It mattered in America, but Jim Crow mattered. This is ridiculous, man. And the fact that the MAGA people, the Republicans or Democrats, the Southerners, right? The fact that they won't, or they're afraid, or they don't want to speak on that topic, it tells you a lot. If you would listen to them, they would give you 15, 14-hour conversations about Chud the butler, who may be Chud the builder, who may be Chud the bottom. That's what people are saying, Chud the bottom. They'll have a 5-hour conversation with you about Chud the bottom, but they don't want to talk about what's going to happen to the South. I mean, what's going to happen? What are we going to do with our black people overreacting? We see Trump hasn't addressed it. None of the politicians are coming out, calming down the people, saying, hey, everything will be just fine. Everything will be okay. Hold your horses. We understand your concerns, and we're going to do something to help you with your concerns. You can say all of that, right? But I don't think they care. I don't think they care. And I also think all you're going to get is the typical nonsense. You're going to get a racial speech, and you're going to get racism and poverty, man. Is that good for America? He said, as a black man, I have a great job. Good for you. Good for you. Good for you. This is now, look at this. Look at this right here. He says, stop playing the victim card. If you have it so bad here in America, go to another country. Or Zanzibar, you would never do that. So, okay, so I'm a victim and I should leave the country. I thought I was an American citizen. I was born here. I was born here. Is that okay, Joanne? And see, Joanne, let me tell you something. We talk about the brainwashing. We talk about the feeble minds and how so many people are brainwashed. Joanne, you're brainwashed. Joanne, you're brainwashed. Joanne, you believe that when black people protest or exercise their free speech, they're playing victim. You believe that. You believe their complaints, just like your complaint with the Supreme Court and how we got to overturn this and this, all of the things that you've complained about. You don't think that the remedy is to leave the country, but you would give that to others because you don't really see black people as citizens. You don't. You don't. That's why you always you think they're victims. You don't see people peacefully protesting, exercising their First Amendment rights. You see victims. You see black people that you want to lead a country. You see what I'm saying? And then, so you wanted these districts, you got them, Joanne. Now what are you going to do with them? You want to get these goddamn liberals out of here? These weak on crime liberals, you want to get them out of here? Obama's married to a transsexual. He's out of here. So now what you going to do? Now what you going to do? How you going to govern? What are you going to do? Tell the people they're victims? They got to take it? You think that's going to produce the next wave of Americans? Huh? Is that going to be good for the next wave of Americans? Once again, and I see that they're the MAGA guys and stuff. They even need black MAGA though? I saw the blacks for Trump and all of that. Clarence Thomas made his point, man. He says race doesn't matter. Anyhow, right now in my district, if I go to get gas, it's going to be someone from Yemen. Yemen or something like that, something of that sort. It's going to be someone from Yemen. There's not going to be any black people in there. So what's going to change? No, what I'm saying is under the Congressional Black Caucus, black people didn't really have any power. They didn't have gas stations. There's a video where a person is pointing out the fish markets that black people didn't own that stuff. Right now, the Latinos are taking over. And now, listen, let me say something. I don't have a problem with that. The Latinos are taking over right now. I have no problem with that. I don't have no problem with the Latinos taking over. But what are they going to do about the blacks? What are they going to do? That's just a question. And then you say blacks are overreacting. Are they overreacting? Or are they just saying, hey, we don't have any representation and we're paying taxes? In all of these SEC schools, all of these colleges that we've made millions and millions and billions of dollars, a mass migration of the best talent. So much for your college football playoffs. Don't tell me Georgia can do. Georgia can't do it. Georgia cannot be Georgia if they lose all their black talent. They wouldn't win a game. If you took the top 10 black recruits from the University of Georgia, they would not win a game. If they do it, I've been seeing rumblings, if they leave, if they say we're done with this, that's what I'm saying. What assurances are they going to have that nothing illegal, I mean, they have a right to pursue their happiness, right? They can get married, have a family, and live their lives, right? They don't have to be oppressed, right? They're Americans, right? Well, if they say, well, we're going to treat you a little different in Georgia, we got colored bathrooms, we got to separate the coloreds. Why would they want to stay there? Why would they want to stay there? We got Chud the Builder. He'll be coming to the team, and he's going to call all of you niggers to see if you good or bad, because the bad ones, if you don't want to fight, you're a bad nigger. You let him call you, if you let him disrespect your race and your culture, then you a good nigga. Yeah. Yeah, he's being financed. He got a lot of money too. And I'm glad, you know what? I don't agree with him, but I'm glad he's there because he's just showing the truth. He's showing the truth. We're looking at the truth. We're looking at the real world. This is the beginning. This is the tip of the spear. Yeah, he said, even now, we still a target. Okay, you guys don't have no representation, but we're going to blame you. We're going to blame the Negroes for what? Everything that's wrong. We're going to blame you Negroes. It's your fault. So what about the black church? Can I go to the black church? Are we going to take that? Is that racist? What are all these black people doing in this church? Oh, this is racism right here. We got to close this down. We don't want you Negroes. You're engaging in racism. No, we're worshiping the Lord. There's a bunch of black people in here. Where are the white people? What's a free country? They didn't come. Oh, no, this is racist. We're going to shut this down. Bruh, that's something else, ain't it? I don't know, man, and I don't think that they can explain to me. That's why, that's why it's going like this. I'm just a citizen, man. The citizen has a right. Citizen has a right for the pursuit of happiness, right? You said, who do you think wants segregation? Well, what you have to understand about um, Jim Crow, I'm going to say this again because I think people don't hear me when I say it. Segregation would have worked in America if it was segregation. It was never segregation. When they said separate but equal, the South said that we're going to take all the resources and put that on the white side of town. And we're going to let these Negroes scuffle and scratch. They would say the colored bathrooms were never cleaned, and they did it on purpose. They were filthy. The colored water fountains were allowed to have algae grow in them. The train cards, wherever the colors was, they was broken down. There was nothing in it that you would want to pay for. But they said, okay, well, it's just separate because it's separate, and it was never equal. So that's what I'm saying. So you look at these black districts, 35% black district means 65% other. What is that going to mean? Does that mean that black people are going to be overlooked and the resources will go to the white side of town? Okay. Let the resources go to the white. Well, it's like that now. Let the resources go to the white side of town. If I'm black and I have the money, can I put my kid in that private school? Can I move next door? Can I go out here to the park? I got money. Well, it's like that now. So what's going to change? What's going to change? My representative, a black face, a black person as my representative. My representative hasn't been black in over 20 years. I don't have a black representative. The community is what it is. So what's going to change? So I'm saying, are we overreacting about the whole thing? Because what's going to change? If you disrespect anyone white or disagree with the president, you un-American. And you're a traitor, but they can disrespect you and it's free speech. Yeah, why are you overreacting? Yeah, I saw CBS News cut out Netanyahu saying that if you don't like Israel, you un-American. That's what he said. They cut that out. Netanyahu said the war will continue. So basically, it looks like he controls. He's the de facto president. Blacks represent the community, have done nothing. Well, as far as business, you get no argue from me. I don't think they have promoted business growth to blacks in black America. I don't think that at all. And I don't think any black person thinks that because we grew up in it and we saw the proprietors behind the gas stations were not black people. The proprietors and the business owners were, in many cases, Chinese, Asian. Look at the hair salons. Look at the hair salons. Now, the barbershops, they're mostly dominated by black men. Black men and gay women. But no, the barbershops, the barbers. But what I'm saying is if I go into a black community, as far as the residents, yeah, but as far as the businesses, it's going to be a diversified situation. So they said we're going to get rid of that. Okay. I don't have a problem with that. That's going to be the change. You're going to send Mr. Lee back to China? Okay. You're going to send eBay back to Africa? Okay. Okay. What are you going to put in a jobs program so these people can be trained to try to come in and they understand business? Oh, well, we ain't going to do that. Well, then nothing, what's going to change? What's the big deal of redistricting the area if nothing's going to change? High crime and soft on crime don't work, and that's the Dems go to. Democrats, they're responding to the community. The community wants them to be soft on crime. You need to talk to the people in the community. The thugging and stuff, a lot of that's looked up to. The thugging, the criminals. You don't understand the black community. They praise criminals and thugs because their daddy was a thug. Their family are thugs. They come from a family of animals, and they're animals. So what are you talking about? I don't agree with that. I don't agree with that. I was one of those guys who was raised by a grandma. Church going, Bible thumping grandma. Took me to church. I still slipped out, but I didn't slip too far, and I'm glad I didn't. And I seen what's the outcome. A lot of those dudes lost their lives. Dudes that I went to school with every day, I grew up with, played football with, baseball with, walked to school with. We were boys. As we slowly became, 15, 16, 17, yep, right around 16, 17, they started to go in a different direction. Maybe it was the money or whatever. They started to get out there into the streets. And I stood over their funeral caskets and remembered the good times. It was sad to see them go so quick. Yeah, the streets are unforgiving, bro. He got clamped down on, and the guy who got, the sad thing about it, it wasn't even the guy they was looking for. They just did him off just because. And I saw his mom and his family. I saw them just, crying, but who am I to tell him? I said, well, he decided, because he told me he was going to do it. I said, why you want to do that, man? He said, man, fuck this school shit. And he bounced. He made about 4 years. They found him in a wooded area with the whole back of his head blown out. Now we got another racist in here. There we go. And Clarence Thomas says he don't believe in race. So does he not believe in white racism? Is that what he's telling everybody? He doesn't believe in race. Does he mean he don't believe in white racism? Because if black people do anything, he believes in race. All of a sudden, it's racist. Yeah, I'm trying to see, what did black people lose? All of this stuff has happened. When you look at the state of the black community, what did black people lose? When all is said and done, what have they lost? What power did they have? When you say some dude, a black face in a high place, how's that help black people off? Obama was president. How's this help black people? Okay, you got a black face in a high place. How's this helping black people? So what difference does it make? And I'm saying that to the people overreacting. I'm saying that to anybody who would overact about what's happening. Okay, I wish I was in Dixie. We back in Dixie. I grew up listening to this song. This was under the Democrats, or this was under the after the Civil War. I was down south in Dixieland as a kid. So I'm a grown adult now. I look around, I see Mr. Lee. He's in charge of the stores, the beauty parlors. Ahmad in charge of the gas station. I got to go to the other side of town. I go in the gas station. It's white people in the gas station, in the front, in the back. I go to the liquor store in the white side of town, white people back there. I go in the liquor store in the black side of town, Indian dudes. I don't even know the name for that. Oyishko. I don't even know. Indian dudes. Young dude, too. This dude, he was telling me he just got him a gas station. I mean, a liquor store. He bought the liquor store. He's single. I think he's single. He works there 12-hour shifts. Sometimes he goes to sleep there. He's got a little place to sleep and he owns it. You wouldn't think it because he's always there, and you wouldn't think it because, he's not taking his money. He ain't went and bought him some overpriced car that's full of diamonds and, just some, you know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? You would never know. And I was impressed by that. I said, you know what, man, you a wealthy man, but just looking at you, you're just a regular dude. You like, he doesn't dress bummy, but he doesn't dress that portrays his money. The Negro. See, once again, that goes into, you want to talk about brainwash. That's our brainwashing. The Negro has been brainwashed to think that he doesn't have any value unless he's got a bunch of chains on his neck. The Negro will go and he'll buy a booth, he'll spend $5,000, he'll spend his car over, he'll get used and made a fool of, he'll overpay for a car, he'll put all that stuff on the car, the music way too loud, designer clothes and all of that. That's how Negroes think. And then he don't even have no money. Whatever little money he had, he done spent. Meanwhile, this other guy, he owns a liquor store. He put his money in his liquor store, and he also works a 12-hour shift for his store. And he's got his taxes set up where that money is going to be written off. So he's winning both sides. He's getting paid, and he's doing a tax write-off. And he's young. Like I said, he's young. He's taking his time. Is he going to be run out of here? They're going to get rid of him? He wasn't born in America. Indian dude. Is something bad? And I don't have any problem with Indian Americans, Indian, West Indian, or whatever they call them, the Pakistanis, the India, Pakistan types. I have no problem. I had one problem, one guy, and guess what? Me and him, we was about to go at it, but guess what? It found out. No, he was real disrespectful, and I called him out for it, and he tried to like buck up, and I said, well, come from behind the glass, bro. Don't puff up behind the glass. And then they grabbed him, and he start talking in his native tongue. I'm like, well, if you want me to, let me hear what you got to say. It wasn't no big deal, though. It was a disagreement. I've been back in there a couple of times. Turns out I go in there one day, his wife is there. It's a black chick. And I said, you know what? I should have knew that. I said he would be a fucking thug. I said it would be an Indian thug that causes problems, because everybody else, we have business. This is one dude trying to be black. I think that's what he called himself, being a black guy. All that cosplaying and stuff. And hey, good for them. Good for them. But good for him. Good for him. And that's the way things go sometimes. So We back in Dixieland, man. So we gonna see what it holds, man. It's gonna be something, huh? They said what they the Florida, they said you couldn't have a black history. So was Trump's gonna get rid of the black history next month? Looks like it. Look like that's what's gonna happen. In February, he's gonna get rid of that. He said there is white culture going off the rails, wiggers and Wegrows. You know what I'm talking about. They'll get a $300 tat and feed their children 50-cent chips. Yeah, well, actually, I don't know. I don't know about that. Um, when you think about it, that's sick though. If you do that, you know, a healthy child, you're feeding a child corn chips and cokes just so you can go out and buy you some designer. That's sad, man. I mean, black, white, but it can be black. I mean, white people are doing it. That's sad. That's sad, man. But that's also greed too. That's greed. That's the country we live in, man. It's a very greedy, greedy country. The redistricting has changed it all. And is this the new normal for blacks? It looks like it's going to be, man. And what's going to change? What improvements are going to be made? Are more black people going to be able to open up businesses? Is there going to be a concerted effort to get black people opportunities? Or is it going to be the same? I'm saying, I really think nothing's going to change. I think you'll get new representation, but I think across the board, nothing's going to change in your community. Nothing's going to change, man. It's going to be all the same. The same old same, man. And crime's not going to go down. It's not. It's not. The thuggery is going to be harder to show because you're going to see a lot of Negroes who are bent and broken. Over half of black dudes voted for Donald Trump, so they're getting what they asked for. There you go. Well, Danielle, I mean, that's a bit of a reach. I think that's a bit of a reach. You think he got half of the black men vote? You think he got half of their vote? But if he did, they deserve. You know, this is what he's doing. The Supreme Court came through. Supreme Court came through with their decision. I got you, Danielle. Half of them. Half of the black men voted for Donald Trump. So, yeah, enjoy it. You're right. Look, Danielle, I have to agree with you. What are they complaining about? So, if anything, but what's the future for blacks though, man? Be for real. What's the future for us? Is anything gonna change or what? We're here in Jim Crow, so we're gonna be in segregated cars now. If you get on a plane, what are they gonna have a plane just for black people? What are they gonna put black people in the back of the plane? What are they gonna do? No, that's a question, man. I'm saying what's gonna happen? What about the schools? You know, the South, they had to put the National Guard down there. We're going to go back to segregated neighborhoods and segregated schools. And let me tell you, if the SEC, if the football players, if the top 10 recruits transfer to another school, Georgia won't win a football. As good as Georgia is, they wouldn't win a football game. And if we see a mass migration of SEC talent going out west, you're going to see a lot of problems in the South. A lot of problems going to be in the South. If the South wants a majority white society, it may take 20 years, but they may get that. They may get that, but still got to function. What we're going to do, put robots in there? It's going to be what the South, it's going to be Southerners and robots. And remember, slavery was you couldn't leave. Two things about slavery: you couldn't leave, and you could not. You had to work. So if you take the South and you saw the Civil War, they fought to keep the blacks. They wanted the blacks to stay there. They fought for slavery. They fought for exploitation. They said, okay, if you take the slavery from us, what are we going to do? So when you look at the SEC, when you look at Tennessee, when you look at Arkansas, Mississippi State, if the top talent, and it should not always be just on them. If the top recruits, if you get 20 of the top recruits, if you took the 20 top recruits from every SEC school and they all went to Miami and Florida State and Notre Dame and USC and Ohio State and Indiana and Oregon, if you took the top 20 recruits from each school, they wouldn't win a game. They have trouble going to a bowl game. So it would be a loss of money. Now, immediately felt no, but 20 years, they would have to consider, hey, what are we doing to our black citizens? Because they don't want to play for these schools. They don't support what we're doing. Now, I agree with you. If don't nobody do anything in this business as usual, it'll be a slow burn. It'll slowly erode. And that's pretty much what was happening. They slowly eroded the black gains, and then they took them. But if you see a mass exodus out of these schools, basketball too, and then you also got to understand the South. The South has always been jealous of the North, or, the Yankees. That's a Yankee. South has always hated the Yankees, the Southerners and the Yankee. If all that talent goes to the South and goes away from the South, what are they going to do? They'll have the Dixieland and they'll have everything that they wanted, but what are they going to do? What, Chud the bottom? What, it's going to be a bunch of poor Southerners and Chud the bottom? Doing what he's doing with that black woman or whatever. See, the big thing is if blacks stay put. That has been the big thing. If you stay your black ass under oppression, you deserve to be oppressed. We'll see. We'll see. Now, as far as the people who can't travel, the criminals, the thugs, the people who can't travel, don't travel, they become irrelevant because they would be a liability wherever they went. So, yeah, you'll keep those in the South. But you're going to lose a lot of your talent. All of these governors and all these people, when you practice racism, you're going to lose your best people. And we're going to see that. We're in the middle of watching that happen. Now, the obvious ones would be the football players, right? But that's the thing. They can help a school. When you don't have talent, you can't compete. Then what's going to happen? Right now, Cam Ward is a black quarterback. He's for Tennessee. Michael Penix, a black quarterback's for Georgia. What are they going to do? I'm serious. What are they going to do? What are they going to do? Are they going to be booed? Are they going to be run out of town? Are the fans going to go out and support them? That's business, right? Like the stream, man. Support the platform. Clarence Thomas says we don't need no black congressional Congress. We don't need none of that. And your representatives, they'll do right by you. Okay. We'll see, right? Yeah, what's up with you, Cap?
Hey, bro, how you doing?
I'm doing are you MAGA?
Me?
Uh-huh.
I told you, bro, I don't play that MAGA and I don't play that left crap, bro. I would want to pick up an independent cap if I could, but since the independent party is not strong enough to like try to voice their authority in this race, then I really don't want to support anybody. But if I had to support somebody, I would have to support the person that is in office right now, because I've told you time and time again, until the left puts somebody there that's willing to put up candidate numbers to run against Rubio or whoever it is in 2028, then all you got is the commander in chief. Who else are we going to support? That's my question to you.
Okay. No, I got you. I heard you.
So look, like, I mean, we've talked about this numerous times, bro. Like, MAGA has to do something in order to sell me the same way that the left has to do something in order to sell me. And right now, I'm not swayed, bro. Like, at the end of the day, red or blue, they're the same crooks, man. Like, I get it. We don't like what's going on. But what's the alternative, bro? Tell me what's the alternative. Because I'm not hearing alternatives.
You said they're the same crooks. Okay.
Pretty much. Am I wrong?
I mean, those are your thoughts, man. But
yeah, that's what I'm saying, though. I mean, I would like to be swayed when the elections come, but I mean, you have to have two candidates in order for me to be swayed. Am I right or am I wrong?
You're right.
So when is that candidate gonna pop up for the Democratic Party as opposed to having a timeless witch hunt that's not really working out in their favor right now? When's the policy and the plan gonna be implemented?
It looks like the guy from Philadelphia, the Shapiro guy, I think, and Gavin Newsom out of California.
Oh, here we go with Gavin. I mean, you're giving me names at least, but come on, Gavin Newsom, really? We still on that Gavin Newsom card?
Why you say I'm on it? You said who they
No, not you per se, not for you per se, but I'm just saying you gave me a name, but that name, come on, man. Have you seen California?
No, I haven't seen California in a minute.
Man, the last time I saw San Fran, it looked at like Skid Row. But then when the president of China showed up to San Francisco to visit, Gavin Newsom magically cleaned that area up. But now it's back to the way it was.
But hold up. But isn't that the whole point? Because you just said if you go there right now, you're going to see blue tents, vagrancy, drug addiction all over the place. Isn't that what the Republicans say? The liberals are afraid to clean that stuff up?
I mean, the problem is they cleaned it up, but how the hell did they clean it up and they get back to square one once the Chinese president left San Francisco? Make that make sense.
Well, the people did that. The people propped up those tents.
Okay, so there you go. If we're going to prioritize about the people, then maybe the people need to go and vote. How about that? If they don't like the way things are working out.
They did vote. That's why Gavin's there.
I'm saying in general, like in general, if you think that Gavin's there because he's there, I beg to differ. I think Nancy Pelosi has a big hand in that, but I digress. My thing is,
had something to do with Gavin Newsom being there.
I mean, that's her nephew, right or wrong?
I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, that's her nephew. So, I mean, I'm not trying to say favoritism or nepotism, but man, how all of a sudden this guy ends up being the talking point of California. Now California's falling apart and they can't even find water during wildfires.
I'm letting them talk, man.
I'm just saying.
No, I'm letting you talk. I'm just listening, man. No,
look, I'm not trying to be combative, but I mean,
the chat, they're hammering you in the chat, man.
They always hammer me. As long as they're listening, and that's a good thing. But I mean, I mean, you're going to hammer me. That's great. That's your priority. That's your given right. That's your constitutional right. So you can do that. But I mean, you got to debate or rebuttal sooner or later. You just can't be like, oh, you're an a-hole, or come back cursing all the time when you have no point.
What do you think for black people? What do you think's going to change now that they split these districts up?
Man, to be honest with you, man, I think it's going to bring more awareness to the situation. We never knew what was it? Guyarchy? What's that word that we were trying to learn now? That's brand new now. The when you start like trying to manipulate the maps. What's that word?
Gerrymander.
Gerrymander. There we go. That's the new thing now. At least we're finding out what that means, and at least we're finding out that if you don't like what's going on with those maps, you can go to your district county leaders and try to fix that. But ain't nobody gonna do that. Everybody wants to talk, but they don't want to do anything. That's a big problem.
You don't think anybody's trying to you don't think anybody's trying to change what's happening?
I mean, don't get me wrong. Yeah, there's people out there that have good intentions, but the bad outweigh the good. Let's be honest.
Let's be honest about the bad. Help me with that.
The bad policies that are being implemented. Right now, we're having bad policies implemented. We're not having plans. We're having more of a, oh, I got you, and oh, I was right, as opposed to how are we going to fix it? That's what we need to do. I mean, if we want to have change, and you want to talk about not having, certain areas separated or segregated throughout these map changes, you got to have these voices in order to make things change. And ain't nobody have a voice unless they come up here complaining. You got to go to your districts and try to fix things over there and have your representatives finally have a stronger voice with people leading with that stronger voice. But to come on YouTube and say, this guy sucks and this other guy sucks, and not tell me why, I'm going to laugh at you. While you're hammering me, I'm going to laugh at you.
We're not going to be able to do anything on YouTube, but what I'm saying is when
we can do whatever we want if we really want to make change. Come on, all the political stance that we're having and all these political dialogues, they're all coming through YouTube. So that means we can make a change. When it comes to people uniting to try to team up on somebody to make them look bad on YouTube, then it's no problem.
What should black people who were currently under black leadership, a black politician, who are now going to be under a white leadership, what should those black people expect with these changes?
I mean, that's a good question. That's above my pay grade. But I mean, if you want to make change, you got to be vocal. That's my point. And the change that's happening now is because one side's being more vocal than the other. I mean, that's how politics works. I mean, I'm not a rocket science, but I mean, like if you want to be heard, you got to be coming in numbers. And the numbers are not working right now unless they're like coming online to complain.
How come I grew up and there was black mom and pop stores. I remember that. Used to go get you a candy cane or a peppermint stick.
Yeah, bro. Chico stick and all that stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, you would go in there and there was his wife or him, and then maybe he had a grown son, you know what I mean? And you seen him about the community. So business and I'm talking about in the black community. So you would say, well, black guy owns the little shop up there. So you saw that blacks could do more, right? Then, obviously at the TV, right? But then there was I don't know, what, a Chinese man or something, Mr. Lee. And Mr. Lee was a good guy. He was a funny guy. Great guy. I never had a problem with him. But he was smashing the black women. Now, hold up. It was all consensual. And he was trading food for, Mr. Lee. She needed $10 worth of bologna, bread, mustard, Kool-Aid. She could pay for it, or she could go in the back with Mr. Lee. Now, is that going to stop? Well, that sort of self-stop. Mr. Lee's dead, but what I'm saying is that was I grew up around that.
No, I get what you're saying. Mr. Lee is like an analogy from mom and pop stores that are starting to disappear all over the place. But and trust me, I agree with you. Like the main places that you can go to get help are from mom and pop shops that are like, let's be honest, a lot of them are migrants. A lot of them have bodegas. A lot of them are migrants, but they help more than they, give. And
Yeah,
that's
okay,
something that I miss. I miss that a lot too, you know.
so
But
what are they
that's
going to
you.
do?
You got to put that on corporate. The corporate entity right now is taking out all these neighborhoods and turning them into plazas or high rises. That's a different discussion to have in itself. That has nothing to do with the political stance. That has more about the greed aspect of it. But again, that goes to your jurisdiction. You got to speak on about that, because I agree with you, man. Like, we all grew up on that area of help. Everybody needs help.
Do you want to live, say, a block from a high rise?
Nah, man. To be honest with you, why? For what? I mean, to have what I'm looking at right now in Florida, with all these high rises popping up left and right, and all these condos all these apartments turning into condos all of a sudden, and you got to pay HOA fees on top of an apartment that used to be an apartment, but now it's considered a condo, so you got to pay almost quadruple the price, or you have to pay a mortgage on a rental. I mean, that doesn't make sense to me either.
But high rises are not good for a community. I mean,
I
yeah,
agree.
you got a business zone and you got to have it, a hospital. It's
Then I get it. Yeah,
you know,
I
that's
get that.
one thing. But high rises, do you know how much traffic they produce?
Exactly. And then you know how many parking lots or garages you have to produce as well when you build those places, bro? You're knocking out buildings. You're knocking out businesses.
Yeah.
So yeah, no, I agree with you 1000% when it comes to that type of like change that people are not wanting. It's more of a force-fed change that people don't want. But man, like I said, if you don't like it, do something about it. The same way that people are doing something about it now, which is voicing their opinion.
So you have no problem with blacks protesting what the civil court did and protesting the redrawing of their voting districts?
Not at all, bro. Because that the same way that the Supreme Court found a loophole, I'm pretty sure that you can find another loophole to surpass that or meet in equal grounds. Because you can't just say all of a sudden now that place had this amount of electoral votes for one side, and all of a sudden now you're going to change the map with a crayon, and all of a sudden the numbers change. Like, to that extent, you know, that just doesn't make sense. It needs to be figured out. That I agree with you upon. But when it gets set, you can't have another set law after a new front office comes in, or a new presidential office team comes in and starts changing the law again. Because if that's the case, every 4 years we're going to be changing law. You have to have something set in stone for decades that people can't touch, so it doesn't change or affect the amount of money that are coming out of our pockets. Because we're feeling it. I get that. We're all feeling it. But a lot of people are making money off of these high rises, and a lot of people are making money off of YouTube, and a lot of people are making money off the stock market. So it's more of a mental thing than a lazy thing, I believe. Or it could be vice versa, but don't tell me, oh, it's not working for me, when other people that are like 18 and 19 making more money than you have in like the past 20 years. The technology's there. You just got to take advantage of it. That means stop focusing on EBT and stop focusing on like stock exchanges or Bitcoin. You know, start broadening your horizons with money. Don't make it think that all of a sudden now money's going to come in your lap. You got to work and make that money. Same thing with Bitcoin. You got to invest it. Invest your money is what I'm saying, because you can flip that quicker than you can saving it. Let's be honest. If you're smart enough, you can flip like 5,000 to like 50,000 in less than a month if you know what you're doing. But then when you get into these kind of talks, people get, you know, shied away because they're not really educated. I get that. But don't tell me, oh, no, I'm suffering over here, and the white man has me all like down, when the majority of teenagers are like I said, they're not white. They're all diverse and making money because they know what they're doing.
Yeah, but
so it's just that lazy aspect needs to be thrown out the window too, man.
No, that's fine. Somebody, a streamer or something, can make, you know, ridiculous amount of money, but that doesn't really help the people in mass.
No, I get that, but what I'm trying to say is that the money is accessible if you know how to get it. So to complain about, oh no, I'm being held down by the white man, nah, man, these kids are like the same color shade as you, and they're making more money than you. Don't hate on them. Just educate yourself.
That's what
This is not 1980. This is not 1980. No, I'm not saying they're hating. They're just not trying to evolve when it comes to like, bro, like these kids are making money. They're the same color shade as you. Why are you mad? They're making money and they're younger than you. I think it's more of an age. I think it's more of an age bracket. It's like, I don't think the white man's holding down an 18-year-old African American who's making money online, or a Puerto Rican who's making money online, or an Indian who's making money online, because all these kids are making money and they're all diverse. They're all not all Caucasian. That goes to show you the mental aspect has evolved. But at the same time, like 1980 to 1990 baby boomers, man, you got to educate yourself more.
What about the black people who would say that they're buffoonish? That they're
who's buffoonish? Who?
The streamers. When you look at all these streamers, and you name them,
I don't think you're buffoonish.
Wait a minute.
I think you're cool. I don't think you're buffoonish.
No, you think they're cool, but a lot of black people look at a speed. They look at oversexed, all the guy with the guy King. They look at these dudes as oversexed. A lot of black people don't like streamers.
I get that, but at the end of the day, you use the key word. They're looking, they're watching, they're viewing. If you view that, then you're helping support what you don't like.
Their kids are watching, but they believe that streaming plays into the Southern trope of a minstrel show.
The what? Man, don't give me the word salad. Come on, man. Don't.
Minstrel shows were extremely popular under segregation in rural South. You had when you talk about the black films, you had the Step and Fetch guy, Step and Fetch It. His he became a millionaire. This was back doing Jim Crow. So nobody said, there wasn't a path to money if you were willing, to be a minstrel. So you want black people to be minstrels?
I'm not trying to label anybody as a minstrel. Last time I heard, I think minstrel is like a minstrel, like what? That's PMS, no?
That's how you spell it.
No, I'm asking. Like last time I heard
they spelled different.
Yeah, no, like I said, we just learned words today about Galaraki. What was that word you said earlier? Galaraki? What is for the maps? What was that word?
I'm glad you're doing it. I appreciate you struggling with that word, man. That's normally
what is that word? What is it? You said it earlier.
It's gerrymandering. It's a very
gerrymandering.
It's an old word, but go ahead.
No, yeah, like I said, I'm here to be educated, bro. I don't know everything. Like that's why I'm on here, man, because it's like the gerrymandering. We're trying to figure out now how it works. And if you're telling me, what was it? The menopause word? What was the word you just used now? The
minstrel.
Minstrel. If you're telling me minstrel is trying to like label someone as wrong or bad,
do you see the thumbnail?
The thumbnail.
Clarence Thomas, do you see that? The front of the thing.
Oh, Clarence Thomas, man. Last time I seen Clarence Thomas, it was what, a Pepsi can or something like that, right?
Oh yeah. I think Anita Hill saw him. So he left his fingerprint. But no, the minstrels would be the black. Do you see the black guy with the hat and with the young lady?
Oh, okay. Like, okay. So you're trying to say basically, like, if people do certain things that other people don't like, they're considered Uncle Toms. Is that pretty much like the same equivalent?
No, minstrels were blacks. The minstrel was the portrayal of the black experience, and it was always a false portrayal. They were always portrayed as these happy,
like a sideshow.
Yeah, happy to be your slave. The South is the best thing to happen to me. I don't equate. Like a musical. Wasn't slavery. It was a musical. Everybody
I don't equivalent that to streamers.
It's a wonderful day. We're collecting hay. And then it would go somewhere else. It was a big musical, but it wasn't.
I don't equivalent that to streamers. No, I don't, if that's what you're asking.
You don't do what?
I'm not equivalent the word to streamers. What was it you asked me? If that
could you repeat what you said?
Word label.
What the hell?
The word you said. What was the word you used?
Gerrymander, brother. Come on, man. We can get this one now.
It's minstrel.
Minstrel. Okay, minstrel. Right here. Somebody wrote it out.
Yeah.
Right here. You said minstrel. They're spelled differently, brother. That's all. You said it with the I. Yeah, minstrel show. Menstrual cycle, that's feminine. Something they go through, but you don't spell them the same. So it's pretty clear what you're talking about. But his phone, he needs to spell his Boost mobile account and then pay his phone. He needs to pay his phone bill. Yeah, Cap, you got to pay your phone bill now.
Man, this cricket service sucks, bro. But yeah. Yeah,
like
look, for me, that word doesn't equivalent to the streamers. All right. I think that's the question you were asking me earlier, if that word is labeling.
No, you're saying that because a minstrel can make money, blacks should be more minstrel. And that's what I'm saying.
Why would I say that why would I say making money is menstrual? I didn't say that. I said the complete opposite of that.
Well, isn't that something funny that
my thing is you're trying to label YouTubers or streamers as menstruals. I don't think that's
that ain't even a reach. That's not even a reach. Most of them are minstrels.
Tell me how.
God, bro, your phone, bro. Look, this guy, he don't think streamers are minstrel. Hold up, brother. All of that foolishness that they do, you don't think that people are interested because they're a bunch of minstrels?
I thought they were millennials.
Millennials. These are not minstrels, millennials. Okay. What's the difference?
It's a Gen Alpha. Gen Alpha.
What's the difference, bro? Millennial, minstrel?
What was it?
Yeah, there ain't no difference, man. But they could be minstrels, man. They can get their money. So he was suggesting that social media platforms would remedy the income disparities that people see. And that's not true, man. I'm saying in general, what are you going to do for your district? That's all. What do you say? You black people shut up? Okay, they're going to shut up. Now, what are you going to do for the district? That's what I'm saying. What are we going to do? What about the next wave of Americans? Are we going to feed them? Are we going to take care of them? What are we going to do for them? Are we going to make sure we're going to give them health care? We see that Kennedy, with JFK or whatever, that guy up there, the guy, he's got embarrassed trying to talk science and medicine with some doctor. The doctor embarrassed him. So you know what he's talking about. Talking about he got some black roots and some mushrooms, and that's kids don't need to be immunized. Damn. Kids don't need to be damn. See, you guys, where you at, brother? Because you need to come back up here. You done got me tripping over. Let me go. Let me come over here. You know what I'm saying? He said the kids don't need to be taken care of. Immunized. That's it. That's what he said, bro. Immunized. Vaccinated. There you go. Thank you. There you go. He said kids don't need to be vaccinated. Immunized. There you go. He said the kids didn't, and that doctor went into him about that because he said smallpox and all that stuff. We've almost gotten rid of these diseases because the kids they don't spread them. But he said, what you're saying, they're going to spread them. And when they spread, they mutate and they become harder to control. And yeah, I mean, this guy's just talking, man. His oil of oregano. This stuff ain't going to work, man. You cannot just be saying, I'm going to take some black seed oil and oil of oregano and put that in a mushroom, and that you don't have to worry about no medicines and stuff. And that's where we're moving, man. That's the way we're going, man. And the people who are complaining. The people who are complaining. Said nothing that God created mutated. Oh, you're trying to say it's man-made? Well, I wouldn't agree with that anyhow, because you said God, and people would question it if God even exists. But you said nothing that God creates mutates. I don't agree with that. Yeah, things mutate, man. Things change. And many people think that's the way it's supposed to be. The weak might is right. You know, you're getting back into your might is right. Go and look it up. It was a book. And she believed that the strong had a right to survive. They believe that's how nature is. There were people who made a point. They've written papers about the whole concept of family that we have. Is that even productive? I.e., once the kids, you have them after about 11, 12, the state should be able to take them and prepare them for adulthood there by their methods, not your methods. And they're saying that you need to, now you can either make more or just go on about your business. But the whole concept of a family and a parent, all of that, they're saying that's outdated. Now, it still goes on, but that's what they're saying. And you look at the Trumps, of course that's going to go on with him. He's a billionaire, multimillionaire. He has the money and, opportunity. He wants that. But they were saying the common man should even be saddled with such a burden. He's trying to survive, man. He's trying to pay his bills. Should he be saddled with? He has to take care of a child. Should he be saddled with that? Is that the right way to go? Many were saying that it's outdated. And they're saying that the poor man shouldn't try to live like the white. That's reserved for the wealthy man. That's not reserved for the poor man. A family, you got to get your money together. But as long as you don't have a family, as long as you're poor, you can't have that's what they're saying. Now, I know that you can. No, I know that you can. But when you look at the way the differences and the changes that we're making, you do have to wonder if they're not telling the truth. Now, we in the South, man, the South ain't going to change, brother. This is the rise of the South. We see the rise of the South. Clarence Thomas has told you, Negroes, that get used to it. All of the name calling, that's not going to matter with him. He said race don't matter. We went back in Dixie. Like and share the stream, man. We got the join link posted, man. We'll take your thoughts. There we go. We'll take your conversation. We're trying to figure this thing out, man. The redistricting has changed everything. And is that the new normal for blacks? It looks like it is. What's going to change in their district? They didn't own the businesses there. They don't own the businesses. I don't have to go and travel all over America. Black communities where you see a densely populated area of blacks, densely populated area, they don't own those businesses. They don't own the fish places. They don't own the JJs. They don't own the delis. They don't own any of that. Those are owned by immigrants. They certainly don't own the gas stations. They don't own the MAPCOs, the marathons. They own none of that. The Burger Kings, the Checkers, they don't own it. They do not own it. They live in those communities. Many of them are not even homeowners. They're renters. They're in the projects, Section 8, or rent. Many of them are locked out of the American process, the whole American dream, and it's going to change. It's going to change. So, but he said Jurassic Park. That's what the ghetto is now. So that's the ghetto. We was looking for somebody from the MAGA Trump supporter to come in. I wanted them to tell me what's going to change. I want them to tell me what's going to change for us, what's going to be better for us. Help me out, MAGA. No more black leadership. Please let me know. What is nothing going to change? It's going to be the same. Are they going to get the immigrants out, and then you can have black people taking over those businesses? Or they're just going to make it worse for blacks? What's up with you, crackers? Crackers, yeah. What's up? I mean, K-Rax, my fault. What's up, K-Rax? Unmute your mic, K-Rax.
Yeah, you can hear me, Platt.
Yeah, I can hear you, bro.
What's up with you? Hey, nah, Platt. I ain't gonna lie. I'm gonna keep it real. I think it might be. We didn't reach that point, Platt. I think it might be over for us. We done had a nice little run.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't had a good run, We done influenced a lot. Apparently, that don't matter. So we done came to this point. I don't think, cause I'm a person. I think realistically. Now there is. I'm not gonna sit here and say it isn't anything we could do, but at this point in time, I really don't think, especially considering where a lot of black people are at this current point in time, I really don't think. Like, we will really have to do something, and we all would have to, and that's the problem. We all would have to come together. We don't like doing that. So I don't think.
Yeah, because we wasn't coming together under the without this redistricting. So now we're gonna do that.
My whole point, and then, and Platt, I'm gonna tell you what I realized this. So, because I'm a up north East Coast nigga. Like I'm not from the South. So me moving to the South like opened my eyes when it came to a lot of stuff. So like living in the South, bro, it's an interesting dynamic because you could tell, like, you could see the racism in the South versus you on the East Coast. You're not gonna see as much racism. It's out there, but you ain't gonna see it. It's not gonna be as prevalent as like when you in the South. Like if you go down Mississippi, Louisiana, like I'm talking about deep South, you're not gonna see it like how you do in those places. So like a lot of black people, and like with that realization, people in the South already are kind of screwed. Like I don't even have any, and with them changing, with them doing changing all these laws and everything, I don't think like this is not, especially because I know about the whole Memphis thing, right?
What happened in Memphis?
So basically, they trying to like really change, because Memphis about correct me if I'm wrong, but I do believe Memphis is about 65% black or something like that. So
I think so too. Go ahead.
yeah, so what they're doing, and I have to look back at what I read, but basically they changing, like they making it harder for black people to basically do anything. And
Well,
it's
but K-Rex, they wasn't opening up. The only thing black people open up in Memphis is a strip club. That's normally done by a complete animal thug, a criminal. A strip club, maybe a nightclub, but that nightclub's a whole bunch of them, so that's competition. A whole bunch of nightclubs. Um, that's about it. As far as businesses, like a gas station, no. Um, A major car. Look, some old bullshit that you go to the auction and a car lot like that, and you throw some lemons on a lot. No, some lemon lot bullshit. No. Yeah, they do have those, but I don't consider those businesses.
Nah,
Okay,
yeah, I
but I'm
get
saying you say Mercedes of Memphis, there ain't no black motherfucker down there.
you.
So you're saying did they open? That's what I'm saying. They ain't open that up. But see, that's what I'm saying. That's you right. You know what, K-Rox? That's why it's not gonna work because we want to live in a fantasy land.
Yep.
We don't want to live in the real world. We want to
That's
make up shit.
that's the issue, and I have that issue with people in general just not living, that want to live in this fantasy world, because we don't live in that. We not in a. This is not a video game, bro. We got one chance to live, and my belief, we got to do whatever we have to do. We have to make smarter decisions and make more impactful decisions versus irrelevant and dumb decisions that's not gonna help or do anything to help anybody. Like it, and like I was saying, basically it's a congressional type of change in Memphis. So it's basically they changing like the map and everything. And basically when it comes to Memphis, they not like they changing the map. So they about to it's about division basically. It's a shit about to get divided. Like we really is about to go back to damn near Jim Crow in a minute.
Mm.
Like we really is. Like it's not even a joke for real. Like niggas be doing all this joking. And that's why I don't even play about the Mexicans like that. Like when they was going through their situation at ICE and all of that, I genuinely cared about, because it's deeper than race. It's deeper than race. It's not about, oh, I'm black, so I need my right. It's not just about us. Even no matter how many things we have gone through throughout the years, it's about it's about right and wrong, bro. Right and wrong. And I know you said whatever you said about God and everything earlier, but I believe that's where it comes in, like heaven and hell, right and wrong. Like it's that's how I'm looking at it. So it's not about the color
Yeah,
and everything.
no,
It's really
hold up, K-Rax. Kevin says the black folks they are pushing out haven't been doing anything for the folks who voted for them in those seats. All of them fight for everybody else, not black Americans. Okay, FBA. Okay, Kevin, what? So it's going to be better for black people. That's what you're saying?
was wait, what did he say? He said what's
He's
going
saying
to be
the redistricting is going to be better for black people. He's saying more black people are going, I guess, because the people who were sitting in those seats weren't helping black people. So now the new blood's gonna come in and help black people.
nobody's helping us, bro.
Already, K-Rax, if you was a black man, your business had about 3 years of shelf life before the gangs and the thugs shut it down. Now, I'm just being for real. If you was a white guy and you open up a strip club, you probably could pass that on to your kids.
It's
They just could not invite the type of chaos that the black club, the black strip club, you bring in a rapper. What's this guy? Ozone. What's this guy name? Ozone, ain't it?
I don't know.
What's the guy with Cardi B? Ozone.
I think,
Offset. My fault. Offset.
Offset. Okay.
Yeah, you pay you said Offset, come check out my joint, man. He come in there, all the hood and the streets and the thugs are gonna start coming in your club, and it gives about 3 years. You have about 3 years before niggas shoot it up.
Yeah.
And guess what? The city, this was under a Democratic leadership. The city gonna close that down. They're gonna say, man, you had 2 homicides. We got to shut your business down, and you're gonna lose your insurance.
Mm-hmm.
And I remember watching a black man, that black man must have been about 64. I watched that man cry like a baby.
Oh man.
That man's wife showed up. His children showed up. That man cried like a baby. Niggas shut his club down. He begged Negroes not to bring that foolishness. He said, man, don't bring none of that gang activity. He said, I got a nice establishment for the community, man. We have graduations up here. We have good things happen. He said, we having a good time now. Please don't come in there with, and it took him about 3 years. Niggas shot a couple of niggas died, lost his insurance. City said,
man.
yeah, public nuisance. City shut his business down. I watched that man cry like a baby. That man did everything he could to try to have a business, a black-owned, black-run business in the black community, and he couldn't because Negroes wouldn't let him. So we talking about getting rid of this leadership. Let's see what happens. I'm trying to say, if a lot of stuff, they were already doing that. So if you put a conservative at top, he's gonna be less tolerant.
Yeah, this is part of the bigger agenda. Like, they've been putting stuff like this into place for years. So it's and at least to me, it's not as surprising as a lot of people are coming out and saying this. Like, what have they basically for the past 25, 30 years, probably a little longer than that, really, they've been conditioning us to just think about all the different things that's happened over that amount of time. And they've been conditioning us to just kind of weasel into this basically new world order type of situation we in now. And in a few years, it's going to get worse. Like, I'm not even, like I said earlier, I look at stuff from a real perspective. So we looking at this for what they're planning to do. This is just the beginning. Like, we ain't seen nothing yet.
That's what I'm saying. That's Jim Crow. But that's the whole thing with segregation, right? Was it opened up the states to effectively be racist. The decision separate but equal. That was, they said, okay, we'll have segregation, have separate communities, have separate schools, colored bathrooms. But they said that the blacks were not ever given equality. Everything in black was bad. Everything in black was run down. Everything black. If you had a bus ticket, you had to get in a black car, and the bathroom was filthy. They said they didn't even clean the bathroom. Now, I think they would let a person come. You want to go in there and clean the bathrooms? The other people, that stuff was done by the company. The company cleaned the white bathroom. They wouldn't clean the black. Then they said they wanted to do that. They wanted to say, this is how you niggas live. Just don't clean it. Just leave it just like it is. It's broke. Let it stay broke. And that's what they said. That's what the challenge was, that under segregation, blacks was not getting fair treatment. So they was able to challenge all of that. Now, civil rights, you've had that. Okay, now that's done. What are you going to do? You got some residual people still, haven't got the memo. What are you going to do? Because under civil rights, black people didn't have no businesses like that. They had barbershops and bullshit, but they didn't have no business like that.
No, not like no. If you talking about on the level of like Walmart, Google, and
oh fuck no, they never had that. Nah. Even when you talk about when you take a look at Latinos, right?
Right.
And I've seen them, and the Indian community. Both of those communities are doing wonderful. And I've seen them at the beginning. I didn't see it at the very beginning, right? But I'm saying over time, I've seen them, they'll say, okay, we're going to live on the west side in this apartment complex. It's a mix. It's not even like just blacks. It's like, they say, well, all the Indians, when they come here, well, when you're ready to get a place, they all over there in the Hamptons. They say, okay. So they start to move in there. And slowly, that's where all the Indians be, right around the Hamptons. So this little place to eat, they buy that place. Then they make it for the food they like. Okay, this little place used to be it's zoned. You could be a strip club. We're going to buy this. Now, on that one, they always still use blacks because the money is with the blacks. But see, the blacks behave. See, and this is what Negroes don't want to hear. When an Indian man or well, I ain't never seen a Chinese dude do it. But when an Indian man or a white man is the owner, leader of a black strip club, black people act like they got sense. But when they know it's a black man, oh, they gonna shoot that mother. Oh man, they gonna tear it up. I don't know. You got to go talk to them. I don't know why it's like that, but it's like that. If it's a black man own this, man. Who? Oh, him? Oh, yeah, I see it, man. They're gonna shoot that up. Who own this? And this is a Latino club, man. Who own this? Jose own this. You know, Jose with the barbershop, or Jose with the car lot. Oh, yeah. You know, you see him on TV, man. He be selling on them car lots. Yeah, this his thing. Oh, they act right. You gotta go talk to them, man. You talking to somebody who has seen this shit firsthand. Nobody making this shit up. So what's gonna change in the black community? Nothing. So why niggas overreacting? I don't know. Because ain't nothing gonna change in the black community. They wasn't winning to begin with. Black people were not winning to begin with.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
And
this shit right here ain't gonna change nothing.
And there's people that really think like that though, like that we on top. And I get it from certain perspectives. Like it's certain stuff that black people have that no other race has, and like we talking about that, and that's different. But you talking about we winning as a collective race as far as just being successful and just things of that matter. We're not. We are like the bottom. We're like the worst race to be, and not even. And I hate saying that. I don't even want it. I don't even want that to come out my mouth. But that's like the worst. We are probably the worst race to be. Like if it was another species, right? And they looking at like humans, and they like, okay, like if they got the pick, and they like, okay, I got the choice. I could be Mexican, I could be white, I could be black, I could be Indian. I got all these different choices. You really think they're gonna choose black people as the first? And like I said, it's more the color. We have stereotypes around us. If we're talking about all these years ago, like 2,000, 3,000 years ago, we were looked at differently as far as just color. Like we just
Well,
like monsters
if
or
you're
something.
going back 2,000 years, it was probably a big difference.
Nah, it was. I'm just saying, like some people like
Do
just
you
have
know the black American is not okay? We're not African, right?
right,
We're descendants of slaves, right?
right, right.
So really, we're multiracial for the most part, right?
Basically,
Okay, so what happened is the white man, he went and got a bunch of slaves, a bunch of blacks. He brought them to America. He took advantage of his power over the women. He crossbred a lot of them, and he created a subspecies of blacks. Now, they're not Africans. They're subspecies of black. No, that's not. They're not. David, no, David, not this group in America. He created a species of black. One thing that Hitler said, Aryan, Hitler said he did not like rednecks or whatever you call them. He said he don't like American whites. Hitler said that. Even though he got his eugenics from America, he had no respect for American whites because they slept with their slaves. And he said, what kind of purebred man would do something as despicable as that? And he said, they sitting around complaining about Negroes. They created them. Now you go out here and you sleep with your slaves, and then you create a subset of mixed Negroes of various tones, and then you complain about the Negro. You created them. So that's what I mean.
that is crazy because that is like specifically tied to just American whites. Like if you look, like you ain't gonna go to somewhere in Europe. Like them whites think different than like now some of them with the race thing can still be a little, but it's they're European, especially from talking to some, they're different than American whites. You got different types, but they're all generally like, because you got the rednecks, but then you kind of got like the privileged white like family, like they got money and they just
Is that Okay.
What?
It's a history. When you go look up the history of that term redneck, it has a meaning to it. It's somebody probably was doing some type of work, just like it's a tan. It's like a tan.
I always thought it was like literally read that because like them they be pink and shit. They just be outside with their
No,
American
it
flags.
carries with the I got you, man. And see, he's K-Rax is a young guy, very young guy. You were you about 20, were you about 25, 26?
Not a little older, 29.
K-Rax is under 30, and you hear what he's saying? See, they know the whole racial thing. He doesn't even understand or know anything about it.
I mean, I know my history though.
You do, but I'm saying that's what we're losing this stuff. We're losing this stuff. He doesn't know what he look. Just
No,
hold
but
up,
play. I know
K-Rax,
about the.
K-Rax. Let me do this. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Now, I'm gonna let him talk. But the term redneck, that's a racist term. And listen, you shouldn't use that. But I do want him to go and look it up. It has a historical meaning since he knows what it is. He says it's an English term for men that farm and work in the sun. There you go. But no, I got you on that. So, but in the future, K-Rax, be careful of racial slurs about people.
Oh no no
And
no!
also,
I
you
was
need to
just.
know where they come from, where they originate. So when you use them, you understand what use them in a proper context.
Oh no! Oh no! Play. I don't even use that term, but it's just if we're describing just if we just going over just the different types of white people, But especially being in the South, like I would say it's kind of, I guess if you want to say that, it's more of them here in the South. So it's like you kind of realize it more. But no. As far as
Do
knowing
you
my
know what a
history,
farmer's tan is, K-Rax?
yeah,
You know what a farmer's tan is?
a farmer's town, yeah, yeah.
Oh, come on, K-Rax.
What you mean? I thought not everybody, of course, but I
You
mean,
you seen a
people
guy with
should know what that is, bro.
what's a farmer's tan?
It's like it's like them lines they get on their neck or their arms,
Like a
cause that sun from being out all day, that
uh
sun get to them and they start getting that shit.
huh. What
For
do you
real,
do? What do you do when you see a guy with a farmer's tan?
what you mean? What do you do?
Just
With
keep on
like,
walking. Just keep, you don't say nothing to him.
nah. I mean, shit. They don't care. They be working, bro. They work through, bro. They can work through that. If they can wear shorts in the snow, bro, they could get through that. Like they got
Mhm.
tough. I don't know what it is, but they got tougher skin, bro.
No, you're
It,
right. If you can, like you said, if you can see a white guy in shorts in sub-freezing weather, and I've seen that, and jumping in that water, I've seen that. Then a farmer's tan, that's nothing.
exactly.
You're right.
Exactly. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Play. I ain't no regular like 20. Like I'm in my 20s, but I'm not no regular. Like I be knowing my shit. Like when what's the name first came in and started removing history and that like you know about the Tuskegee pilots, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, like once I found like I know about all stuff like that, bro. Like I know about my history. So when I found out that stuff was getting removed, like that's what I'm saying. People should like back when we was talking about earlier. The past year they just been doing nothing but changing and removing stuff. Like that's all. And if a lot of people didn't read that Project 2025 thing, like a lot of people thought that was a joke, but
Well, they find out it's not a joke. It's very real.
bro, play. You had Taraji You had Taraji P. Henson, bro. You had Taraji go on BET even telling black folks about it. Did black people listen? Nope.
Well, we're gonna have to accept the fact we didn't listen, and now we got to pay the price. When they board Brown versus the board education, when they
Yeah.
said blacks had a right to go to school, or they had to call out the National Guards. A lot of whites didn't like that.
Nope.
So
Nope.
they had to,
That's
yeah.
they tolerate us. That's what I learned. And that's why I'm cordial with her. I don't try to be too friendly. Like if it's business, then that's when I get a little. I'll talk to them more. But with them, I'm not really too friendly. I'm not saying because I'll be cool with any race. Race, like I said, race don't matter to me. But as far as with white people specifically, you do have those that are you have to be careful with them because they will look at you as a certain type of way. That's why I come off a certain type of way when it comes to white people because I'm not just a nigga. You get what I'm saying? So like I don't come off like and I'm not trying to say that as to where how people like to use the phrase, "Oh, I act white" or put on your white voice. I don't necessarily do that, but I just act like a regular person, bro. I don't act ghetto, but I just act like a normal individual, and I go into those conversations with respect and a certain level of
Let me ask you something. You 30, you 29 years old. You're a young man. I don't know if you've heard this song before, but listen to this.
There wish I was in Dixie, hooray, hooray. In Dixie's land I'll take my stand and die in Dixie. Away, away down south Dixie, away, away, away down south.
That's a song. I wish I was in Dixie.
yeah.
What do you think about it? Have you heard that before?
Yeah, I've heard it, and I'm not gonna act like I know like the full history of it or nothing, but I do sort of kind of know the gist of it, like the Dixie song.
How do you feel about it? Nothing.
I wouldn't necessarily say nothing, but it does have a certain meaning to it, like as far as the Confederacy and everything.
It's a minstrel song. I don't know if it's a minstrel song. It's a anthem.
Who said that, bro? That nigga said a minstrel song. You said it's an anthem.
Yeah, they played that at a oh, that's the South. Let me see. I can tell you right now what college football
I wouldn't
team
consider it
still.
no anthem though, play. I mean,
Yes, it was. What college? Yes, it was. Yes, it is. College football team. Hold up, team
it gotta be
still
another word to you.
still plays. I wish I was in Dixie. Hold up. I wish I was in Dixie. Who? Let me see. Let me see.
But I'm saying I wouldn't say it's an
Okay.
anthem. Like it's a
It
blackface
said
type.
Ole Miss. They said University of Ole Miss. Ole Miss. Ole Mississippi. Just like you got Alabama. What's the name of that song? What's the name of that song? Sweet Home Alabama. They play that. That's all. That's fucking Confederacy, brother. That's Confederate bull. You don't even. You got that Sweet Home Alabama is Confederacy.
I mean, yeah, but I mean, do people really listen to that shit though?
Yes.
Like, I never okay, that song, the Dixie shit is different. Like like that was a different
See,
time. When that came out, it was a different time. But like the Alabama,
Sweet
I don't
Home.
know.
Okay, let me tell you the problem with Sweet Home Alabama. I actually like that song, but you're ignoring. It's a slavery. It's a pro-Southern slavery song. You're ignoring that, and you're playing with fire. So I actually like Sweet Home Alabama, but when you keep playing it and you make it seem you mainstream, that's why you said black people think this ain't real. It's real because what they were talking about was they want to go back to those old days. They talking about his homeland, the Southland, and it's in there. It's something about the black man. It says something about keep the black man in his place. Sweet home Alabama. You know, you guys got to, just like the national anthem's got some stuff about black, the slave belongs. Well, see, we played this game, but that's cool. It's coming back to hunt a lot of people. You sat around, you played the game, and now you finna pay. Are black people overreacting? Well, you know what? I think they are overreacting. I think that we were in a version of slavery. Maybe they said, hey, we can't put them in the fields, but we're going to still treat them a certain kind of way. I'm telling you, and it's worked. We don't own nothing, man. In my neighborhood, in my community, they don't own nothing. Oh, a goddamn barbershop or some shit. We don't own. It's foreign owned. All that's foreign owned. And you know what? When I go to the white side of town, guess what I don't see? I don't see fucking a med asking me what pump. I don't see that out there. When I go into the business on the white side of town, I don't see fucking Abdul. I don't see him. That shit's only in the black community. And I certainly don't see no goddamn Mr. Lee. They'd have took Mr. Lee's ass to prison. They wouldn't let him come on there and make all of them babies. Talking about he good man and stuff. Good man, good deal. I give her baloney. No, please, I give her baloney. Baloney Kool-Aid. See, they did that in the black community. And he got away with that.
You stupid. Nah, black. Yo, this nigga. Oh, man.
Mr. Lee came to the black community, bro. That man was married, man. And you know what? That's a different type of situation. Like his wife is subservient to him. But he was out there smashing, man. He'd be on that store. The women would come in. Oh, I ain't got need $5 worth of bologna. You know, I don't have. He said, hey, we figure out. I give you bologna. You come back. You come back room. What were you talking about? I give you bologna bread. Me, you in the back. And women was going back there with him, bro. They was happy and they had a baby, and the baby, you could be your sister. Your baby be straight Vietnamese. You like, damn, she don't look like us, mom. Oh, that's your grandma. Your grandmama will have that. Your grandmama had eyes like that. Come on now, shut up. That's your sister. Shut up, that's your sister, boy. I grew up around there. There was a whole bunch of Mr. Lee's offspring running around my neighborhood. I didn't know it because I was a kid. Nobody said it. I just thought, I didn't put Mr. Lee as the culprit. I knew who Mr. Lee was. I worked for Mr. Lee. Mr. Lee used to say, you clean off my lot, empty the garbage can, I give you $25. I said, hell yeah. This is some shit I could do on the way to school. That shit took about 5 minutes. That motherfucker give me 25. I thought it was cool. I ain't know him. I ain't know he was doing all that now. I ain't know he was laying them down back there. I ain't know he was piping the female. I would have had a problem. No, Lee, you got to clean your own shit. Mr. Lee, man. I thought he was a married man. I ain't know his business, man. Yeah, he had about 10 kids running around there, man. That was just one guy. I'm sure that was all over the place. He had about 10 Mex kids that he didn't claim none of them. But his wife claimed them because his wife used to put them out the store. When they would come in, because it was like, I would go in with 3-4 people and maybe 2 of them, I thought that was the dude's sisters. Like, hey man, who are them? They're my sisters. They didn't look like him, but that was his sister. They would get mad at them. They was like, she would say, you heady up. Come here. You, these two, you. She'd call them out. You get out of here. Give him your money. You leave. I was a kid, man. I just thought she was just a mean lady. She was putting down her husband's offspring. She was mad at them. She was mad. She's mad. She was wrong too, man. Because it was like, damn, you look like them. But That's, you learn this stuff as a grown man. I reflect and I see that's what she was mad. She should have been mad at Lee. Like, yo, what about him though? But see, they culture, they don't really get upset with their husband, but they can take it out on them. They can do that. And yeah, they all grew up and they weren't all girls. It was some dudes. When I reflect back, yeah, it was like every out of 100 families, 8 of them, 8 to 12, bore Mr. Lee's babies. So out of 100 black families, only 12 of them got an occasional ablation in it. They just grew up like all of us, man. They just looked the way they look, but they were a part of the black community. Mr. Lee, he never claimed them. And certainly his wife was mean to him, but it was all good. That's the black community. Now, if I had my way, I'd send his ass back to Vietnam. Hey man, don't come here doing that shit. What's wrong with you, man? You want to give them credit, give them a line of credit, man. With all this beat you in the back shit. What you doing, bro? But see, that ain't up to me. It ain't up to me. God bless that brother. He's passed away. Well, so what? We gonna lose that, so they're gonna get the Mr. Lees out of here. Okay. Are they? See, I don't think they're gonna do that though. I think if anything, you're gonna have more Mr. Lees. I think you're gonna have fewer black businesses. I think that our situation is going to get worse. There's no BET, all of that's gone. There's no black news channel. I think it's going to get worse for black people, man. I do. I really do. And you say black rep. Yeah, I think those days are over with. They just don't have the numbers. I think a black rep will be like a Tim Scott. It's going to be someone that's 100% locked in service of the white community. It's not going to be someone that's trying to help black people. And I hate to say that. And this thing that the white supremacist has created, slavery created this species of blacks, this mixture of Africans and white supremacists. When you look at Thomas Jefferson, and he was having sex with his slaves, and his slaves weren't even of, even by that standard, his slaves were not even of legal age, and he was sleeping with children. He was. All of them were, the plantation owners. And in the process, they created all of these descendants and stuff. Is that really meant to be free, though? And I think black people are at a crossroads where they're going to have to make their decision. Were you meant to be a free man? You're the offspring of black slaves and white supremacists, thirst buckets. You're you're a new species created by thirst buckets and slaves. And that was one of Hitler's main complaints about the Klan and white racists. He said, look at them, they're a bunch of thirst buckets. They sleep with their slaves. He said, what respectable white man would sleep with a slave? He didn't, the assumption was they were blacks, but he was basically saying a slave, they're slaves. Why would you think that you need to sleep with us? That's what he was saying. So, if you understand Aryan nation, that's Aryan. They don't believe in it. That's the whole thing with Chud the Builder. People are finding out he may have been getting pegged by a black, whatever. I don't know. She said she got cut or something. Chud the Builder, right? That's what I said. All of that. Hey, what's up, man? We cool. You didn't react because when I said nigger, white supremacy don't like black people. They don't matter about your reaction. And I'm saying the real hardline white supremacists are not gonna like Chud the Builder. The hardline ones aren't, because he ain't a real white supremacist. I don't agree with what he's doing. Do I think he's racist? Yeah, but he ain't no white supremacist. And this is where we're at, man. This is where we're at in America. And I wanted to see a MAGA dude. I don't know why MAGA is afraid of me, man. They won't come up here. And one of the reasons they won't come up here because they can't justify their racism. They want me to be one of these head nod Negroes that tells them what they want to hear. But if I got a disagreement, man, you can make a point. You're free to come up here. If you can talk in a respectable way, black or white. Hit the link, Kelvin. Hit the link. Since I'm all over the place, hit the link, brother. Hit the link. And it's legitimate for a black man to ask the white supremacist or the white society, what do you want from me? If you deny me my rights, what am I to become? I can't take care of my family. What do you want from me? What's the outcome? What's the point? What's the point? I think that's a legitimate concern. I don't want to be like Clarence Thomas. Clarence Thomas wants to be, he say he don't believe in race and he wants to be a white man. What if you don't want to be a white man? What if you say, I have no desire to be a white man? I'm a black man and I'll be a black. Oh, so you want to put me back in chains? You want to keep me away from the white women and you don't keep Clarence from me? Look at, and that's why we've been talking about that white cooch, bro. It will cook your head, bro. Clarence Thomas, that's a good cook, bro. That man's brains is noodles. That man, they done cooked that white woman done cooked his head. She done cooked his brains like ramen noodles, bro. Got that man putting niggas back in slavery, bro. Clarence Thomas finna put the chain on you, bro. You know, get your ass back on that plane. It said blacks and whites weren't the only ones in America. At what time? For a while they were, mostly.
Yeah, it depends on what time period we talking about.
What do you think about the white people who don't care about black people going through what they're going through? What do you think about them?
Well, it's actually a lot like that. Like I said earlier, they tolerate us. So it's a lot that really don't care. They just, you feel me? As long as we not robbing them or we not causing problems their way, they don't care what we do. They not necessarily racist, but they just don't care. So
K-Rex.
to those
K-Rex.
people, wait,
K-Rex. I went to the Hole in the Wall strip club. You know what I'm talking about? Dope dealer owned thug club. I went to it. It was full of thugs. Right, old cars in the parking lot, and there was a white dude. It was two white dudes came in there. Like they look like businessmen. I don't know. Maybe I don't know them. I'd have to have a conversation. I assume they had been there before. They came in. Look, K-Rex. Every woman in that thug club flocked to them like bees on honey. Like every woman, like 15 women, was all over those white dudes. One of them got dances, giving them free dances, sitting in their laps, rubbing on them, you know, asking them to come in the back. Everything went, that club, you know, it should have been shut down, but it wasn't. That night it was open because anything goes. You got money, you can have whatever you want.
Right.
One of the white dudes went in the back with two black girls, and he spent that bag. He spent a couple of $100, and he got serviced. The other dude sat there, got dances and stuff. I think he might have spent $100. So after about an hour, they were getting up. And no, my curiosity was sparked. So I navigated toward the interest. And I said, I want to see this because that's all them dudes out there slanging and thugging. I want to see if they're going to say something. Them white dudes both walked out unbothered. They walked to their car. In fact, the nigga had a Cadillac with a bunch of lights and shit on it, which this dude is a criminal. If you tell this dude to move his car, he'll shoot you. Man, them white dudes, when they got in their car and they started going, because I'm looking, I said, okay, Okay, that's Eddie, right? That's Eddie. I know Eddie ain't gonna move. Man, that nigga almost blew out his motor trying to back his car up. I said,
Nah, that,
damn, man. I said, damn. And he moved out the way, man. Them dudes left, and I said, man, I need to be a white man in the black community because you saving them up. I said, man, look at the treatment. When I go in the judge, they don't flock to me.
not for real though. For real. You not lying. You not lying, bro. You is not lying. Like they get treated and see that's the terrible part, bro. Okay, so you do got white people that will accept black people. Like I'm not gonna sit here and say all white people are racist. Like I would never say that. But like but we're more so welcoming when it comes to white people. Like, cause I didn't witness that too. I swear, and I will forever remember this. And this just showed me right here when I was a kid. This is when I was like, this was probably about middle school. It was this white boy, and he was kind of quiet. Like he talked to a few people. You feel me? But then none of the I guess you would say the popular black kids really like knew him for real. But when I say he went from nobody knowing him to he got in a fight with a black dude and beat him up, and then like all the black kids cool with him now. Like I saw them, like I'm like, bro, we saw like
Yeah,
they don't even
yeah.
gotta do
They
too.
don't. They don't. And what I'm saying is, if I go into the joint, right,
Yeah,
they don't flock to me 15 deep.
right,
They don't say, "Hey, take both of us back here, get 2 for 1. We'll sleep with you 2 for 1." They don't do
right.
that to me, and that's what I'm saying. They don't offer that even to their black clients, but they offered it to them. And then me, if I'm trying to get out of there, and Eddie is got his car parked there, I gotta damn near call Congress. Hey man, can you move your car? Can you? I'm trying to leave, man. You damn near gotta wait 30 minutes and then he'll look at you and then he'll finally move a little bit. So let me squeeze out and don't hit his car.
Right.
Man, that man almost blew out his engine backing his shit up. I said, what the? And I said, man, that's all a bunch of BS. I said, white people are catered to in the black community. Maybe that's what they want to do, put that bullshit out that some kind of way it's bad for them. It's not. You're treated better than I am in the black community. I'm in the black community. I know how they treat me.
Yep.
So what we gonna do now? We done changed everything. So what we gonna do now? Are they gonna get rid? Do you think they're gonna get rid of the thugs in our community?
Either now when it comes to them, either they gonna put them to use or they just gonna make it just impossible for them to even survive. So I mean, without going to jail, without going to prison. So I don't know, like that's what I'm saying. That's why I be trying to talk to the youngest man, because like the future for the black kids is important, bro. And I'm not even just saying that. Like that's actually because it don't look too bright. I'm just being honest. Like the future just it don't look the brightest, bro.
It don't look good at all for your kids, man. Yeah, they're gonna be denied. A lot of
Yeah,
black kids are going to experience racism.
but that ain't even the worst part. Shit,
Yeah.
they talking about what you call it? They talk like it's a possible. They could possibly be going to war and all that, bro. Like we just don't know what the future holds. It's just a little concerning, bro. Like if you just a person that genuinely care, bro, like the future do not look too bright. But we just gotta hope for the best for real, cause we don't know. At the end of the day, none of us know what's gonna happen within the next even year. So
You're right, man. But that's the way things go. That's the way things go, man, and that's the world that we live in, man. And Clarence Thomas, he's made his point. He's the longest. I think he's been on there longer than anybody else. Black man out of Georgia. Uh, he don't care for Negroes. He don't care for the whole concept of black people trying to distinguish themselves. That he don't believe in that. All of this stuff, all of this conversation about African American, Clarence Thomas don't believe in that. ADOS, FBA, Clarence Thomas doesn't believe in ADOS. He don't believe in any type of racial distinction other than American. He doesn't. He doesn't. He just doesn't believe in things like that. What's up with you, Aunt?
Yo, what up, Platt? What up, Platt? Great topic, bro.
Auntie, I gotta get my I can't find your charge. I'm a member to your channel.
Mm.
When we gonna do a prayer? I gotta get back over there, man.
Bro, you missed it. We did one for spring break.
When the next one? Because I gotta start. So I'm finna start some shit.
the next one ain't gonna be until after the summer, bro. Maybe Halloween. Definitely at the end of the year. Possibly Labor Day, maybe Halloween. But bro, I am working on something, another event though, that I think y'all will like for the summertime. It's not the purge, but it's something for the fellas and for the ladies, bro. And I think y'all are gonna like it.
I need to pull up, man. We're gonna put Platt trying to start some shit.
Yeah.
Let me start just
I'll probably hit you up to be part of that one, dog.
A platinum elite roast.
Yeah, I'll probably hit you up to be part of that one. Maybe, you know what I'm saying? It's an event. It's gonna be a competition, and we getting the judges and stuff like that. So yeah. But I'll let you know. I'll stay in touch with you.
We'll get
I got your email.
There you go, sir. Sir, the floor is yours.
Yeah. So as far as this, like, blacks overreacting with the redistricting, yeah, they definitely overreacting. They're overreacting. Now, Democrats, the Democratic Party, they're reacting just like they should. But black folks shouldn't be overreacting. I mean, black folks are overreacting because the Democratic Party does not now, nor did it ever represent black folks. So that's why they're overreacting. You know what I'm saying? No, black do not mean Democrat. Democrat does not mean black.
And in your community growing up, as I'm talking about, you know what I'm saying, 7, 8, 9, growing up, did you see black people behind those counters when you went to get something to drink?
No.
Those stores.
Well, yeah, at times we did. It depended where I was, because I came up in New York, so yeah, I saw a lot of black folks.
Okay.
When I was, and this is when you say 7, 8, 9.
Yeah, you're a Yankee.
That's more of in the 80s.
You're a Yankee, so my fault.
Yeah, but that was more of in the 80s. Yeah, I saw more black-owned businesses back then than I can ever say. And it wasn't even just that. It wasn't even just black-owned small businesses. Like, even when you needed a place to stay, you know what I'm saying, you were renting an apartment or something. More often than not, black folks were renting from and to black folks. A lot of black folks got into real estate and stuff like that. But your Middle Eastern community came through. I know, especially up there, they came through, bought all that property up, bro. People sold out real cheap. Did it get
better? Bro. Okay, when the Middle Eastern people came in and bought the black people out, did the places get better?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. No. Same with the convenience stores, bro. I saw black folks were doing a lot, dude. Not just the convenience stores. And granted, it was kind of like, it was a mix between, you know what I'm saying, whites, blacks, and probably like Middle Easterns, you know, and Hispanic folks. But a lot of black folks used to have businesses with like ice cream trucks and stuff like that. People would do that, you know what I'm saying, in the summertime. That's what you would see a lot of folks do. You don't even see that up there anymore.
Can you even do that now? The whole ice cream truck thing?
It's a good question.
Yeah, I haven't heard
Um,
one of them in
I mean, I,
years,
I
man.
I see it. Most of these neighborhoods, HOAs and stuff like that, are like no soliciting whatsoever. You need a permit. They getting on you. I mean, before I just
Uh,
remember that that's what you just saw a lot of black folks doing, dog. Like people were just it was just a real sense of community back then, like what I can remember. Whether I went to the barber shop, bro, didn't have to wait in line and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying? Like young kids, hey, get them in, get them out of here real quick, because that was a grown
yeah,
men spot. You know?
but the barber shop for me, I can't speak for black people, but for me, I went where they could cut my hair.
Yeah.
I've had my hair cut by non-black people, and they couldn't do it right.
Oh yeah, yeah, bro. I,
They
I
could
went to
try.
Supercuts one time, bro.
Uh-huh.
Bro, I had damn scabs on my damn face afterwards. I'll never let white folks be cutting my hair ever again. That happened one time. I was like, never again. And I just went trying to support, you know what I'm saying, just trying to support a business that had just came up right next to where I work. You know? I was like, okay, I'll go in there. They had a little deal on it. I'll never let them people cut my hair again, man. Ever.
And the thing about a barber, a black
They
barber,
don't
or
they don't understand your
yeah,
skin. They don't understand your hair. Yeah.
a barber understands how to cut your hair. So over time, you and that barber build a relationship where when he sees you, unless there's something unique, if it's the same, he's gonna chop you just the way you like it, and you like the way he cuts. That's why when they say, "Oh, hey, this is a new guy," if you don't want to wait, you can get in him. 99% says, "I'll wait," because they don't want nobody else to cut their hair because they want their hair cut the way they're used to. So that's what I'm saying. So I've never said, "Okay, let me go to this barbershop, um, Supercuts or whatever," and it's a bunch of non-black people.
I'll never
And
do it again, bro.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, no, I never done that one.
But it's
I,
amazing. You don't really see that issue with black barbers. They usually cut anybody's hair, um, anybody's. But for some reason, bro, they don't be knowing what's going on.
a lot of the studs, they can chop real good.
Yeah, I had a stud barber for a while, a few years back. She was pretty good.
Hmm. They cool too.
Yeah,
Did you forget that she was a woman?
yeah. She ain't really.
Oh, she
I mean,
wasn't
of
really. Oh, you
course,
knew.
I knew she was a woman. Like you
Mhm.
wouldn't forget that she was a woman. She actually had long hair. You know what I'm saying, like wavy hair. But when she was cutting my hair, you know what I'm saying, it was tape up, edge, hot towel, all of that, bro. So you know what
Mm.
I'm saying, she knew what she was doing.
Yeah, and the ones that I seen chopping, it ain't about forgetting they're women. It's trying to remember that they're women.
Yeah.
They didn't look they were not very appealing. They looked like dudes.
Mm.
They had them fresh Caesars, low cut.
Hmm.
They had those, man. Yeah, they had fresh cuts. But now that we're at this point, man, black people, I think I agree with you. I think they're overreacting because I don't know what they're complaining about. The black community's fucked up. So what
Hmm.
is this new leadership going to do?
New leadership actually got a commitment. Clarence Thomas, your Clyburns, your Maxine Waters. It's time for them to go. Like, and they're gonna have to go out naturally. You can't really vote them out, you know. But that's the way it is. They not here for you, bro. Um, they just trying to maintain their spot. That's why they fighting for they're Democrat first. They're
Mm-hmm.
Democrat first.
Yeah,
So folks need to stop associating um black with Democrat.
but under democratic rule, black people believe they were not being served. So now, on this situation, what are they going to do? So I'm saying, if I'm a black guy and my district has a Republican, a white dude, do I give him a chance? Do I say, hey, and listen to him? And he said, we're going to do some empowerment zones over here. we trying to open up 10 black businesses
Mm.
and bring your ideas to this person. And we've already got some, we got some grant money
Mm.
and we trying to help the community. Should I listen to that? Or should I say, fuck him? He's a racist
No,
white
you
guy.
shouldn't. You shouldn't just you should be able to do that. It's not even about what they saying they'll give you. You should be bringing your ideas to whoever, whether that's a
Mhm.
Democrat, whether that's a Republican, whether that's some kind of independent, whatever. And they should be bidding on your vote. Like I've been saying that. I'm like, black folks' vote should be for auction. Because look, if one side knows that they're gonna have your vote no matter what, then they're not gonna do anything. And if the other side knows they're not gonna have your vote no matter what, they're not gonna do anything. Which is why neither side does anything for you.
What about the whole concept of the white community complaining that they're being left out? And Clarence said you can't have stuff just for blacks. How do we do that? Do we do it from a poor? Because that was Dr. King. Dr. King said the poor people's campaign. That was his whole march. It's about
Mm,
the poor people. He said this. They made him a quote unquote black leader,
mm,
but he really was advocating for fairness for poor people.
mm. Yeah,
And
because look,
that's why people call him a socialist. But go ahead.
now I believe. Look, this is our flag's still red, white, and blue for a reason. So this ain't too much different than what's going on across that water. So it's always been a system of just classism, you know, in the U.S. It's always been rich versus poor and all of that other stuff. So what you see from white folks, they complaining now about the system that they built, but this nation has always been immigrant friendly. That's why they here. That's why they're here. You know. So now it done fell on itself. But that's the history proves that, you know, empires fall. They all do, you know, at some point. So they empire just it didn't last very long. You know, last a good 150, 200 years, and it's on its way down. That's what it is. A lot of other empires got 700, 800 years. Don't look like the American one will.
Yeah, man. What we saw is over, man. And I just saw this thing about I think a New Edition or something, Rock and Roll Hall of Fame or something. Anyhow, what I'm saying, those days for black people, I'm telling you, man, them days over. The New Edition days, they're over, man. We're in a different world now, and we in many cases we trying to catch up. We almost back with the Amos, Andy, Shirley Temple era. We went back. We're not nowhere near no New Jack City type shit. We ain't even close to that. We you talking about New Jack City, nigga? We in Uncle Tom's cabin now.
Yeah.
And we got to get used to it.
I mean, look, I said this. People had an issue with me when I said this. I'm like, just let it fall. Just let it fall. It's just like any other number line. The people with the most, they the ones losing the most. You know, the people with the least have the least to lose. So let it fall.
But see what they're gonna do? Are they gonna let them starve, Auntie?
What you mean?
The
No, they can't. They can't let you starve in America because
but they can. No. If you get a migration of football players to USC, all of those schools, Oregon, Michigan State, Ohio State, if you took the top 10 recruits from the SEC, each school, top 10 this year, top 10 last year, you take both, that's 20 guys. You take 20 of those guys, they all transferred to other colleges. That's going to decimate the SEC as far as being able to be competitive. And that means all that money will not come to those colleges. That TV money, all this Alabama will go 3-12. Alabama. Georgia will go 0-14. Georgia wouldn't win a game. They wouldn't win a game.
But also, Platt, that's also the purpose of the NIL deals. One of the purposes, those sponsors are going to keep it where it needs to be.
No. Not if, not if,
Them
not if they
trillion,
do it.
them $1 billion conglomerates gonna make sure
They
that
can get that. They can get that at
yeah.
USC.
No, but the transfer portal needs to be taken care of, because if you're wasting billions and trillions on a sport and you're putting gambling aspects into it with these new websites, like, you just can't get up and say, "Oh no, I think I want to go somewhere else." I mean,
Yes,
that
you can.
needs to be.
Well, you can't do it this year, but you can sit. If I'm a star recruit for Mississippi State, I don't even play. I go to school, but I don't even play this year, and then I
So
transfer next year.
I get that, but how many? There has to be a limit.
I go to USC next year, and I'm gonna still get my NIL money. They still gonna pay me.
I get that, but there has to be a limit. Like, if you're a freshman, you just can't transfer 5 times. You know what I'm saying? Like, and get paid every time. Like, they're gonna find that that's kind of like eyebrow raising.
Well, I disagree with that.
As long as the money's coming in, bro, they're not gonna put no limits on that at all.
I mean, I would think so. If it's a big time A1 school, yeah, they're not gonna care. But if it's a Division II or something like that, I mean, they're gonna have to think about the money aspect too. They're investing in the player. I mean,
no, Cap. The big schools care. If you look at Ohio State, what if Ohio State right now could go to the SEC and take their top linebacker, their top running back, their top cornerback? All of these people are projected to be first round picks, and say, we'll come to Ohio State because the South is a bunch of bigots and racists. So we come into Ohio State to play. You're saying it has no impact. I'm telling you, it does.
I know, but if that's the case, they should have known that from the rip. Why would I want to go somewhere that I don't want to be at? I mean, money has to come to a certain extent.
I have no idea. They can do it because they can. They can't do it this year, but they don't have to play this year.
No, I get it. I mean, don't get me wrong. The NIL has been implemented, so it is what it is. But I mean, to the people that are like investing in these players now, because they're basically like G players in the NFL. Because let's be real, it's going to be basically like a semi NFL league.
They're going to have to leave the South millions. They're going to have to leave the South alone.
That's what I'm saying. But if they know that, then they're not going to go there from the rip. But I mean, if they're investing a lot of money, then they need to realize, hey, man, he's going to be one and done. He's not going to be here for long.
If Texas, right, Eli, this is going to be Eli's big year. There's a guy called Wingo, right, one of my favorite college football players. But he's got, man, Texas is stacked. If the top 20 recruits, Eli can stay there. I mean, Arch can stay there. If the top 20, if he lost the top 20 recruits at University of Texas, they wouldn't win a fucking game. You guys are playing with that. You really think it's not that big a deal? They wouldn't win a fucking game. If they lose these people, hold up, and that's only a very insignificant amount of people. You say, 20 Texas lost 20 black recruits. It don't matter. It matters because that's money coming into that state. And I'm telling you, if the blacks change up and start leaving them states, and now we're not talking about college basketball, and we're not even talking about pro. If they start doing that, that's going to impact the state, bringing in money. If they say, well, you guys are practicing racism, guess what? Racism is actually against the Constitution. And if they say you're trying to design all your districts, you're being racist, but you're trying to twist it in a way that you're not. And so I'm not going to do it. Now, me saying something means nothing, but believe me, them saying something, that shit means everything. They're going to change up, man. And those are our causes. Those are our future. Those are our future leaders. It's not just black people going to say something. A lot of white people going to say something. They're going to leave those colleges. They're going to leave those. They're going to abandon those schools. So where your viewership going to come from? You can't support Arch Manning if he's throwing the trash. He ain't got no wide receivers that's worth nothing. Okay. That's what you want? We'll see. I mean,
not to change the subject, but he's been like the starter for like 2 years. I mean, they haven't won anything, have they?
Arch been the starter for 1 year.
And it was yours before that, right?
Yeah. Ewers, I think, is a backup. I think
Yeah, he's our
for
backup. Yeah.
San Diego. I think. I could be
No,
wrong
he's
on
with
that.
Miami. It's Miami.
Miami. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, Ewers. This year, right?
Wait, no, wait, whoa. What do you know about him?
He's better than
He's
Arch
good.
Manning.
Really?
Well, he was better than. I don't know about when you say upside this year, Arch. I don't know. I got to see. But at the
Okay.
time,
Let me ask you this. Let me ask you this.
two
Before,
years
before
ago,
you go
Arch,
forward.
wait a minute. You got the freshman, junior. No. What's the sophomore? He was better than the sophomore Arch. Yeah. Oh, by leaps and bounds. Ewers, he was. I watched
So
him.
is
I
he?
watched the game.
I'm thinking like right now would be the time for him to compete, but when Miami's giving the job to Malik Willis, who's better, Malik Willis or Ewers?
Now I would take Malik Willis over. I don't know what I haven't watched him at Miami, but now Malik should be better than him. Malik needed.
None of them has started. None of them has started for Miami or played for Miami. That's what I'm asking.
Everything that Malik went through with Tennessee screwed him, but he got a year under his belt. I think a year or 2 years. He got traded to Green Bay. Green Bay was probably one of the best experiences for him. He played well. He was coached by those actual coaches in Green Bay. So Jordan Downs, that was his, in the quarterback room with him. That's probably where he learned most of his stuff. Now he's went to Miami. He's probably the best quarterback on that team. Yours, give me 3-4 years. Give me a couple of more years. Sometimes it takes guys years. Look at the Sam Donaldson guy. When he first went to New York, they said, New York was stupid to trade him. Well, he wasn't that good at New York. So he wound up getting traded. But now what you see with Seattle, that version would have never left New York Jets. He wasn't playing the same way. But what I'm saying, all of these politicians, what they're going to do, man, all these changes, are we going to do better or are we going to stay the same? I want us to do better, man. So I hope those guys boycott and go to other colleges. I hope the black elite, the black elites leave the South. Let the niggas stay in the South. Who cares? You guys can do whatever you want. Them white folks already said they not going to feed you niggas. So what y'all going to do? All the money makers leave the South and leave the South. It can be the old South. They can play I Wish I Was in Dixie all day, every day. Here we go. If they leave all the troublemakers, the thugs, the welfarers, leave them in the South, there you go. You deserve these racist bigots.
I was in the land of cotton wool and there.
And I really think that's going to happen. I think the black money, a lot of people don't want to leave. But I do think over time, they're just going to say, I can't live here because, look at our districts, look at the potholes, look at these houses. And the black, the aristocratical class of black people have left. The black money has left. Where's the black money? Just like you got Atlanta. And I think they'll be leaving Atlanta. I think the black elites are going to say, fuck this. I don't want to live here. I don't want to live here where I mean nothing to the people here. Now, am I saying that New York or LA going to be better? I don't know. It's going to be more expensive. But you are going to see a migration of blacks out of the South because of this Supreme Court verdict. You're going to see that. And if that's what they want, they're going to get it. Be careful what you wish for.
Well, I mean, look, this is an issue, and you were bringing up college football, but football players have always had this issue. They don't have the leverage that the players of other sports do because, for the most part, it's not an international sport. So they don't have the same leverage. For example, um, you're not going to see guys either number one coming out like the baseball players, basketball players. They come out of high school pro ready. Even if they're not pro ready, they can still suit up and go pro. And then even when they tried to raise the age limit to try to help the NCAA in the NBA, man, you had players that were like, whatever, bro, I'll just play a year overseas, make me some damn money, and then do that. Okay, there's no option to play football overseas. You don't have any leverage. So this actually starts in your communities. At some point, if there's a real black community, that community is going to have to start protecting those athletes. Like, look, if you want our boy, because we know he's no joke, if you want our boy, you're gonna have to come through us. You know, that's the way it is. But nah, these agents and these Nick Sabans and these top colleges, they can bypass an entire community and go sit right on Uncle Joe and Mama's couch.
Yeah, but Ant, um, they do have the ability to get in the portal and go to Ohio State, or Oregon, or USC, or UCLA. Bulls, UCLA. What I'm saying, if the top 20 recruits for the last 2 years, let me say that the last 2 years for Texas, for Arkansas, Alabama, Mississippi State, Ole Miss, Kentucky, Missouri, Vanderbilt, Florida, Tennessee, Georgia, if they left, there are enough teams they could filter to those teams. And if they told the world the reason I'm leaving is because I feel like the South is adopted racism, and I just don't agree with that, and I don't want to be a part of that. So if you want me to play for that school, I will not play for that school under the flag of a confederacy, right? I'm telling you, it might look like, well, shut up, you're a loser, whatever. It's going to impact them schools, man.
Platt,
When those schools
back
play,
in the day,
when they play Notre Dame, they're going to get their ass obliterated. There is no way, if I took the top 20 recruits from Georgia right now, they could score a fucking touchdown against Notre Dame.
That's my
It'll be a
point, though.
destruction.
There ain't gonna be like you talk. This is not a black community thing. Because back in the day, look, if you wanted a hold of that top recruit, you had to drop. You had to deliver a car. You know how many cars I saw Joe Paterno's crew have to drop off to like, for real. You got a car. You know this, Platt. That's the way it was. That was the norm. Okay, you had to drop off a duffel bag of cash to that high school coach.
Shoebox.
Yeah. You know what? It ain't like that no more. They can just bypass all of that. So it's nothing now. If you like let's go to baseball, for example. If you wanted a dude like old boy in LA, Otani or whatever, you got to get right with Japan.
Yep.
You got to get right with Japan before you get Otani. You know what I'm saying? You wanted a Juan Soto or whatever, you better get straight with the Dominican Republic.
Okay.
For real. They want their cut. They want their cut. You ain't just sitting on mama's couch and then, hey, I'll give you a Rolex. You know what I'm saying? And come with a damn Rolex.
Mm-hmm.
And an apartment. Hell nah. So, don't you want to play for this program? Ain't none of that. Ain't none of that. You gotta go through the go betweens to get that. I remember I was seeing a documentary the other day. Even the NBA, you saw. Do you remember what they had to do to get Dirk Nowitzki to the Mavericks? I heard
Mm-mm.
about that because they got a law in Germany that you have to complete 1 year of military service.
Mm-hmm.
So it wasn't no coming out of high. He had to complete that 1 year of high school, 1 year of military service. Bro, they literally hid that man. Everybody like, damn, how he slipped down in the draft because nobody knew the man existed. They hid him. Nobody knew that man was on the Mavericks radar. They hit him. They got straight with Germany, you know, with the German government, military, all of that. They knew that boy about to be a maverick. That's what it is. Same thing when
But
even Yao Ming was drafted. You know what I'm saying? China was like, hell nah. Like, y'all better make sure Houston, Golden State, New York, you know what I'm saying? Hey, one of them big old markets gets this dude. No, he will not be going to Charlotte. He
y'all
will
went
not
to
be going to Memphis.
he went to
I
Houston.
think that was the first year of the Memphis Grizzlies, or yeah, that's when they first brought the Grizzlies to Memphis. They was like, no, China wasn't having that. Ain't
Yeah,
none of
yeah.
that. Hey, hey,
Listen,
hey, hey, ain't none of that in that sport you
but
talking about, bro.
we don't have our own individual. I see what you're saying, but the players now, I agree. If one or two say, "Hey, I'm going to USC because I don't like," it's like we headed back to Jim Crow. That won't matter. I agree with you. One or two players, that won't matter. But if 20 black players from all the SEC schools, and you can go look them up. What's the top 10 recruits? This is right there on Google. Whatever school you pick, they'll say top 10 recruits. Top 10 recruits. If you go back 2 years, if I take the top 10 recruits from Alabama and send them to USC and Penn State and Michigan, and then I let Alabama play, man, Alabama gonna get blown off the field. Guess what that means? That means they're not gonna make money. There'll be no playoffs, and they'll have a losing record. Guess what that means? People ain't gonna come out to see them.
Yeah, hey, but there's got to be a community that actually exercises that leverage. Right now, just like you said, the players are making choices, and these are 17-year-old, 18-year-old meatheads. They don't know what to do. Let's keep it real. They don't know what to do. That's my point. Dirk, Yao Ming, whatever, Juan Soto's and damn Otanis and all of them, bro, they ain't making a decision. They national government making them damn decisions
No, they
for them.
can't. No, they can. I hear what you're saying, but there's
Oh, they
nothing
getting paid.
they're gonna get paid no matter where they go.
That's what I'm saying. They getting paid, but as
What-
far as where you
okay,
go,
hold on. Check it out. Say you're a linebacker for Alabama. Say you were ranked top 10. Okay, you've already committed to Alabama, right? You say I want to get in the portal, and you pick a team out of the South, right? And they see that you are Alabama projected top recruit, and Notre Dame said, "Come on." Notre Dame said you can't start, but you can play. And I'll say you can play in year 2, but right now we already got it started, but we need you. And you say, well, because of the racism of the South, I'm coming. Yeah, I'm telling you, man, if you now one guy, no, but 20 guys each teams, it would rock. SEC would be done.
I'm gonna tell you what, and this is something y'all ain't gonna want to hear it, but that's real. If you really want to make this a community thing, all them damn top high school recruits, all of them, are gonna have to get together and be like, look, you give us what we want, or else it's the AFL or the CFL immediately.
No, they can still
Immediately.
go.
That's it. There ain't no NCAA.
Well, they can still go to the.
I ain't
NFL.
going there. Like we're not even gonna play here
Oh well, you don't want to
unless
go in
we
there
get
where-
what we want.
Yeah, but you can't go into the NFL out of high school.
No, but you can go to the AFL,
Do you want to play there?
bro. I mean, dude, if you that big of a talent, okay, and now they have these NIL deals, right? These sponsors can pay whoever the hell they want. They're the ones that make the stars, bro. They put the cameras and the lights on you. Them damn sponsors, bro. Your State Farms and your Nike and all of that stuff. They make the sport.
They wouldn't make any
They
money.
make the sport a
I got you.
spectacle.
The
No, I'm just saying they
AFL,
make the sport
yeah,
a spectacle.
but still the NFL would dominate because even
Yeah,
say
no,
you
they would, and eventually you go to the CFL or the AFL for 3 years, 2, 3, 4 years, or whatever. Then you enter the NFL draft. Ain't nothing. I'm just saying you could
well, you
bypass that whole
probably
damn
yeah.
NCAA.
Well, even the way you would do it though, but you still they're still going to have a draft because there's always going to be colleges. Um, it wouldn't be the same thing though.
Because it's not that you can't come. I get it. You can't come into the NFL right. It's not that you can't come right out of high school. You just can't come in at 18. That's it.
Well, you got to grow. I mean, that
Yeah.
wouldn't be it
But,
wouldn't be
but if you
smart to
make
do
the
that.
team at 21, 22 years old, or you get drafted at 21, 22 years old, you're in. Does it matter if you played for Notre Dame or Alabama? If you were just you were in the Canadian Football League or the Arena Football League?
Well, it's your age and it's what they feel like they can work with. It would matter if Arch Manning went to the AFL for 4 years versus going to University of Texas. They're gonna look at that. They might love him and say, you got 2 Hall of Fame brothers. Your dad played 14 years. He's a Hall of Fame, and I don't know if he's in Hall of Fame, but Arch Manning is. And
Yeah, Arch
I mean,
Manning.
your grand is Arch Manning in Hall of Fame?
Hell yeah.
Okay, so you got Arch, and then you got his brothers, and now you got you. But hold up, he never went to college. He played in the AFL. Would they come out? Would he be the first overall? No.
Depends on how. He might not be the first overall pick, but he's still going to be a pick. He's still going to be a first round pick.
No, he'd be a late round pick.
Hey,
5th, 6th round pick.
So was Tom Brady. What's up?
He's not even. You can't even put them in the same.
I'm just saying. And not only that, that boy got pedigree. My point is just this. Right now, them players don't have that type of leverage, bro, that the players in other sports do. And if you want to turn this into a community thing, a black thing or whatever, at some point you're gonna have to exercise some damn leverage, or else the control's still gonna be in the hands of the billion-dollar conglomerates, the sponsors, the boosters, and the agents.
Okay. But they can go to USC. If I'm a guy, if I'm the starting running back for Mississippi State, which is not. No, State actually had a good year, right? So I'm the starting running back, and then that quarterback they got, both of them. If I say, "Hey, man, I don't like what happened with the Supreme Court. I don't like what's going on." Yeah, I'm in college, but what about the people? Until they make this stuff right, I'll go to USC. I can go to USC now. Once I leave, who they gonna replace me with? That's what I'm saying. If you lose the top 20 recruits for every school, every SEC school, it would decimate the SEC. It's not what I'm saying. People think, well, just put the backup in. Okay, put them in there. Put them in there. Let that talent flood out to college football. Let it go to K-State. Let it go to Colorado. Let it go to all these different places, but take it from the SEC. The SEC would be terrible next year.
I'm just saying. I watched Brandon Jennings do this in the NBA. I just watched LaMelo Ball do it a few years ago. Bro, the boy dropped out of high school and went to Lithuania, dog. Went to Lithuania. All right. And hey, came back, I think played like half a season or something, or some AAU ball, and the boy the number 3 pick, all of that stuff. I'm just saying, y'all ain't got that type of leverage in football. You can't go to Lithuania and boost up your stock and play pro. So because you don't have that leverage, you at the mercy of whatever the hell happens to you. I'm just being real.
Other than NIL, right? And you're right about the NIL. And you can transfer where when you get in the portal, it's up to the teams, right? So say I'm at Notre Dame, Say I see an opportunity. I'm the coach of Notre Dame. I see an opportunity. If I'm Notre Dame, I'm soliciting the whole ASC. Hey, you guys can come up here. I'm not going to say the SEC's race. I wouldn't say that. But I would say, hey, if you guys are not happy at those schools, come on up here to Notre Dame. Oh, Notre Dame, we believe in fairness. We believe in you know, a hard day's work, a hard day's pay. We're fair here. We don't want you to work for nothing and you get nothing in return. If you don't like where you're at, you don't want to pay for that state, come up. I would.
But
I would
you know how it is, bro.
I would actively go after SEC talent so I can then make my school better. And then I can get, you know, championships. And if the SEC or whatever, if they want to be cool with this stuff and co-sign the racism, that's up to them. Eventually, it's going to force them to change. And guess what? When you say, oh, wait
they
a minute,
got to change because them boys going to play there anyway. That's my point. They don't have no leverage. They got to go.
They do have leverage because when you say donors, who you think your donors are? They're citizens, right? So the donors, guess what else the donors do? Yeah, they give you money and they donate to the school, but they also donate to these politicians. So if the donors say, hey, we using this guy. So I remember this guy in high school. I want to see this guy play for my university, the school I graduated from. Oh, he wants to go play for Ohio State. Why? They already got a great running back. Well, he said he don't want to play for no racist school. That's going to mess with those guys. It's going to affect those guys about their donation.
And all them schools are racist, though, dog. You know that. All them schools are racist. Like you got to pick your poison.
Is that what you're going to tell them?
All them boys would have to get together and decide that, look, we just going to have to put on a show that rivals, you know, the NCAA. That's it. And until then, ain't gonna be no leverage, bro. They're gonna be stuck at that mercy, bro. I'm just being honest. It's gonna be their only. They're gonna have to use that go between, which is just like you said, it's ACC, it's SEC. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna have to use that go between to be able to get that big money in the NFL. It just is what it is, bro. If
I'm a linebacker and I sign to Alabama, I would publicly come out right now and say I'm not playing for a school that supports racial division, and this school does. I would say it based on the legislators, right? I would say it publicly. I would go to school, but I wouldn't play that year. I would go by all the written rules. I would get in the portal and I go to another school. If they want to talk to me, I talk. If they don't, I won't. I'm just going to go play. Where you would go? I'll go to Notre Dame. I would go to Notre Dame. I guarantee you, Notre Dame's a good school. They got good talent. But if you a top run, if you SEC talent and you start, go to Notre Dame.
I'm just saying right now, as long as your only path to the NFL is through the NCAA, you're at the NCAA's mercy.
Notre Dame's the NCAA.
Yeah. I'm just saying, like, no matter what, bro, you gotta play at one of them damn schools in order to get to the NFL.
What about Florida State? You trying to tell me if I took the top 20 recruits from Georgia right now, the top 20, 2026, 2025, and they're going to get their NIL money, bring them to Florida State? With all that, that's a great school. You can get your degree from Florida State, and they say, okay. And then I take the top 20 from, I ain't going to say Georgia. Well, I got Georgia. I'll say Florida. And then transfer them to Florida State?
All you need is 3 of them top 5 recruits, 2 or 3 of them, to just say, hey, I'm going to CFL. Good.
No, there ain't no money in the CFL.
I'm good on college.
Ain't no money in the CFL. There ain't no money in the CFL.
Hey, as soon as you give me what I want, or I'm not playing in the NCAA at all. I'm just saying, this is the leverage that baseball players have. This is the leverage that NBA players have. I've seen it. Them boys don't play a day. They don't have to play a day of college ball if they don't want to.
But they're getting their money. I'm saying the colleges are paying. But what I'm saying, if a person says, I don't want to play for Alabama because Alabama is a racist state. Look, can they change anything? No. But I'm saying we're acting like that don't matter. That talent, that black talent.
with
That
basketball. Same with Kentucky, but
but
they still
that
go there.
black talent transferring will overall hurt the South. It's going to deplete the South. They already said if all the black people left Mississippi, Mississippi would fall in on itself. That's how. That's how they don't make any money. They make it. The South went to war for what? For slavery, because they knew they couldn't make it without the Negro. They just want to put the Negro in a box. All of this run the Negro off. They didn't want the Negro to go back to Africa. They wanted to put the Negro under their thumb. They said, okay, I'll be in charge. I'll control the money, but you niggas gonna pick the cotton. So that's what I'm saying. And they said, no, we got to have more than that. And that's what they're doing when they protest them schools. They got to get out of them SEC schools. And this is what I want people to do. I want them to feel the SEC. I want University of Alabama to recruit white guys. Because all them black guys, they ain't shit, and we don't want you on the team. Recruit white guys to fill their place. And also, I want to see college. I'm going to be right there in the front row with a big bag of popcorn. I want to see you, Alabama. I want to see 5 white guys, because black guys won't play for your school, going against Duke. Come on.
That would be funny, dog. That would be funny.
No, that's what I'm saying. So they're going to have to think twice about saying how we going to treat these black people. That's what I'm saying. It can't change nothing. We'll see, right? Because in the state, you don't have to change anything.
Right now, they're going to treat you how they want to treat you, because that's the only path to the NFL. That's the only way you're going to get the exposure. So you got to. I'm just saying, you boys don't have the leverage that you think they do. So why ain't nothing going to change?
They do. No, together they do. If they
together, I would agree with you on that. Together.
Yeah, one guy won't matter. You're right. One quarterback, one running back, wide receiver.
And even if you want to break it down with the conferences and divisions, you know what I'm saying, all of them would have to get together and make that choice. Make that choice and stand firm on it. But
they could do it now though. We got the college football don't kick off to what, August?
They ain't gonna do that, man. They listening to them agents, bro.
They can do it now. We got time. Why they can do it now?
They listening. They listening to a little 5'6", you know what I'm saying, small hat dude with a last name like Rosenberg and a Rolex.
He can have 2 Rolexes. If they all got
real talk, they ain't no working together, dog. With Jay Rosenberg come through.
I bet you Jay Rosenberg gonna be with UCLA, because if they all got in the portal and went to these schools, they could do it. And once they do it, that's gonna take the viewership. Listen, if the SEC fields non-competitive teams, right? Where they're like, look at LSU. Look at what LSU went through. That's the LSU, man. They're a winner. Look at the hell LSU went through. They had to get rid of this guy.
Yeah.
LSU
got some big money backing them, though, bro.
I know, but I'm saying they had to bring in a new guy because they have to win. I'm saying if you position, can you imagine Georgia going 2-12? And then the next year, they don't seem to get better. That would kill the university. You guys, a lot of those universities, and it's not just them, a lot, the state, they bring millions into the state. When they're not winning, and if UCLA, if I took the top 20 of Georgia's recruits right now, all go to UCLA, then I take the top 20 of Alabama right now, all at UCLA is going to be a powerhouse.
One of LSU's
powerhouse.
I'm just saying, one of LSU's biggest sponsors is Mercedes-Benz. All of the players get a Benz, dog.
You can keep they don't take it from if you transfer.
They get a Benz, and then you mess around, you F around and get drafted by the Bears. Right? They deliver your brand new G-Wagon, dog, to Chicago. Because your NIL deal come with you. All right? So, bro, It's about
They'll
that
get
money,
more.
Flat, and
You
you
got
know
you
that.
got hold up. You got Dion out there. Can you imagine the top recruit for Kentucky, Alabama, Georgia, all of those guys telling Dion, I want to play for Colorado. And he says, why? His people say, why? He said, because I just don't feel like I'm being represented. You trying to tell me that Dion wouldn't take them recruits in?
Of course he would, but my point is this, right? These ninjas are not giving up their bins to go play in Colorado.
But they would get another Benz no matter because the NIL money is still the same.
Yeah, but they would have to buy the bins. They want the money and the bins and all the perks and all the broads and
White
all of that,
women.
bro.
It's a lot of white women in Colorado.
It's,
Come on. There's Snow White.
I'm just saying,
It's a bunch
dog.
of Snow Whites. Come on, Snow
This is
White.
about
Come
money.
on,
Yeah, you talk about racism, and I feel you, Plat. The boys want that money, dog.
and I'm telling the dude from Georgia, Snow White's up there. Snow Whites. He coming. He coming.
I'm just saying, them boys want that money, dog. They like whatever, bro.
They like that whites. They like that white
Hey.
snow too, though.
Hey, Crimson, roll tide. Give me the money. They don't give a damn if it's Dixie flags and all of that waving all in the crowd.
Let's see that. I disagree. I think it does matter.
They want
especially
that bread,
in
dog.
the age of social media, it matters. I'm telling you, the guy who stays back for SEC and talking about they playing, I wish I was in Dixie and stuff, and he's jumping up and down. Okay, go ahead and do it.
Bro, when Nick Saban sit on your mama couch and promises her that your son will be a first round pick in 2.5 years, bro, it's tough to turn that down.
Well, first of all, it wouldn't be Nick Saban, but
I know, I know.
Yeah.
I forget who the coach is now. I'm just using that as an example.
I think he's gonna get fired too. That's the Washington coach.
Yeah, but my point is, man, when a dude that got a track record or a school that has a track record of pumping out all of these first round picks and all of these damn millionaires sits on your mama couch in the middle of the night in the shack that you living in and promises you that hey, that's it. Your son, you about to have a 2.5 years, $5 million sign, $2 million signing bonus. I got you. Like, you're going to get all that. It's tough to say no. They don't give a damn about racism.
They do because all they got to do is leave. They're going to still get all their money. So when they go to Colorado, say you're the top wide receiver at Alabama, and you say, I'm going to Colorado. Dion say, hey, the NIL money, the way it's divvied up, you're not going to be able to get what you were getting at Alabama. But he'll make more because of social media.
Bro, you can, and they'll be like, yo, you couldn't even get your son drafted in the first round.
Okay.
Dion, how the hell you gonna get my son drafted in the first round?
Well, then you know what? Then what we complaining about? Then you're right. No, Anthony, you're right. What are black people complaining about? Because, like you just said, you ain't gonna.
I agree with you though, Platt. I'm not disagreeing with you. I'm just I just don't see it changing.
Like you said, they're not gonna stick together. It's all independent. So what you complaining about?
I'm not.
Yeah. So it ain't no. So we overreacting because it ain't no big deal. So what? They changed it. We wasn't getting nothing anyhow. What? I'm serious. What? My congressional guy, he was a white guy. He never did nothing for me. I'm trying to think about it. He never did nothing for me. The black community supported him too, 100%. It was a bunch of black people ran against him. Every time he would win. So whoever gets in that office, what are they going to do?
It's amazing too, because black people claim that they're, you know what I'm saying, for the black community or whatever. But if you got a white dude that's a damn Democrat running against a black Republican, they will still vote for that damn white dude. Now, make that make sense.
Yeah. Wow. That's brainwashing. That's brainwashing.
Mhm. Make that make sense. That's why I say that that skin tone don't really matter. It's about, hey, it ain't even about what will you do for me. It's about, will you give me what I want? You got to be able to come with your list of demands. Here's what I want. Folks ain't doing that. You know,
You're right, man.
you know.
And that's the way things are going, man. We tried, but I think that we're underestimating the black community in the sense that I think that the footballers, all it takes is about 5 top tier footballers to transfer. And then that's going to have a domino effect. And like I said, you got USC, you got UCLA, you got plenty of schools. So they could rob.
I would agree with you. Yeah, I would agree with you. That won't just cause a domino effect. It'll actually start some real change. But just like you say, you're gonna need 5 of them, and they can't just transfer. They're gonna have to create a powerhouse over there.
They're
A
going to
powerhouse is just running through everybody.
right now, if University of Georgia, minus quarterback, right, minus those positions, but if University of Georgia lost its starting running back and its left tackle, right tackle, wide receiver, defensive linebacker, I'm talking, bro, if they all went to Notre Dame, I'm not saying they're all going to start, but Notre Dame gets that much better. People get hurt. Now you got the starting linebacker for Georgia. If your main guy gets hurt, maybe he's better than him. So you lead the team. So I'm saying across the board, it's depth. And if those universities lose those players, they're going to go bankrupt. They're going to go bankrupt. They won't be able to make a payroll if they don't have black players. And heaven forbid, like I said, if all the black players, they say, well, we'll just put white players in there. Okay. I want to see it too. Let me know. I want to see University of Georgia play Ohio State with all white players. Come on. I know where my money going to be.
That'll never
That's
happen.
one of those. No, that's one of those. Take a loan out on your house. It's a mortgage loan. Bet the house. You put the money.
Yeah.
You put your house up. You bet your equity. So that's what I'm saying. And even they don't even understand. But I want them to do it because it goes in the face of all this racism. How they keep saying black people can't do this, black people can't do that. Okay, we're gonna see, right? We're going to see exactly what black people can and can't do. And it's not now. I've seen flickers like a flame. I've seen a couple of people speak on it, but it's growing. It's a slow burn. It should be taken out by August, man. And they're going to be, those sideline reporters are going to be saying, what made you stay here? They redistrict all the black people's representation out. What makes you stay for this college, play for this college?
Ain't been no black representation ever. So I don't know what you mean. You know, you just had some people with a D in front of their damn name. Yeah.
You're right.
Yeah, ain't black representation.
You right, brother.
You know, ain't never been. That's an illusion. And
Yeah.
it's a horrible illusion at that. It's a damn flea circus.
I think we see that now. I think, like I said, in my community, the Yemen dudes get a gas station. The Latinos, black people always down there. Black people like, why you like Mexican food like that? You know, they act like they do. They act like they do. They spend money. So the whole black experience, what's going to become of us? What's our next move? Things are going bad for us, you know. What are we going to do? And one of the things we can do is get our sports figures, basketball, football, to reject all of this bad behavior that we're witnessing and go to another team. Because in the end, it's going to kill the team you left.
I would agree with that. But Platt, man, I got to drop down.
I
My
got you, brother.
broke ass work for a living, so I got to finish my
There
work
you
day.
go.
Yeah, damn shame.
Uh,
But you know,
Hit
it was a
me up.
pleasure chopping it up with you.
Yeah, I got you. Always a pleasure, Aunt. Aunt T, one of the YouTubers. I met
I'm
him.
gonna
He didn't
email
even
you
have
too,
a,
Platt. I got you.
yeah, he didn't even have a channel. Now he's one of the voices of YouTube. Solid. He can help you with your channel. Things change, just like this voting rights thing. Things change. And one of the things about it is, how do you make these adjustments? The SEC, the recruits for the SEC need to protest. They all need to go to non-SEC schools. Even if you go to Tennessee State, you leave Vanderbilt and go to, that's better than playing for Vanderbilt. Get rid of the SEC schools. Let them deal with what's going on. You said, what can a black Democratic congressman get done in Republican Southern states? Dumbass. There you go. There you go. And we're going to answer that next time we go live, because we're going to shut this down. So we'll answer that next time. Like, share, support.